That ain't what I wanted you to see first. I'm sorry. We got a long road to travel. Let me set my stuff up here. I apologize for that, y'all. Let me get this there. There we go. Shout out to all of you that are here. Shout out to the moderators. Shout out to all of the members. Shout out to all of you that are here. My name is Marcellus. I am the host and humble servant of the Mad Church Disease podcast. I'm very grateful and thankful that you are joining me on today. Shout out to all of the members, the mods, and the friends, and all of those folks that are in the bushes. I appreciate every single one of you joining me on today. We are going to have probably one of the best conversations that I think that we've had all week. And I think that it's going to bless somebody. I'm going to walk a little heavy tonight, but I promise you at the end of the day, I believe that it will bless you. Okay. Shout out to all of you guys. Shout out. And I'm not going to call everybody by name because y'all know we got a lot of people in here and I can't shout out everybody, but shout out to all the members and everybody. Let me just shout out a couple of people real quick. First of all, I want to shout out Gerald. Gerald, thank you so much for displaying a great level of maturity with our last live. You know how I feel, I know how you feel, but I just wanted to just personally thank you for handling yourself with such dignity and respect. I really appreciated it. And so I just wanted to publicly say that to you. So I just want to thank you so much for doing that. Shout out to Mary, shout out to Charlotte. Charlotte, I love you too. You love me. I love you. All right, let's go. Andrea, thank you so much for being here. Miss Furlow Speaks, I'm praying for you. I hope that you are getting better mind, soul, as well as your body. And I'm definitely praying for you as well. So to all of you guys, thank you so much. CJ say, I missed that cussing pastor. That's all right, CJ. That's why you need to get a membership to the Mad Church Disease channel, because I try not to cuss out in public, but I'll bless you real good in the private membership. Anyway, y'all know I'm a hoot, so y'all get ready. If y'all don't know, I'm a goofball. But tonight, ladies and gentlemen, I want most certainly for all of us to settle in. This is going to be one of those epic Mad Church Disease programs. If you're unfamiliar with my platform, I try to elevate the conversations, take the conversations to another level. I try not to just deal with the surface issues and the things that are happening, but I try to go a little bit deeper. So tonight is going to be the final video in this series dealing with Larry Reid as well as Bernard Jordan. And this will be our final recap of this, but I'm going to recap the Patreon live that Larry did, as well as give you some context. And we're going to talk a little bit more about it. I also want to shout out Bernard Jordan for having the balls to come up on the platform, sir. I salute you for that. Not a lot of people are bold enough to come up. And so I really do personally appreciate you. Now, I also want to say, when I get into this commentary tonight, I do know it's going to be a pretty much, it's a sensitive subject for your family. And I just want you to know I'm not taking it lightly, what is transpiring to your family. I just need for you all to know that I have been betrayed. Not just online, but also offline. And so I understand the dynamics of that. And so I definitely want to thank you so very much. So that's my comments to you as well. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we got a lot of road to carry tonight. Also, shout out to Tasha Global. If you are following the Mad Church Disease channel on my community wall, I put a video on there yesterday that I asked you guys to go and watch. I thought Tasha Global did a masterful job because, she has history with Zoe Ministry. She has some history over there. And so I think that she did just a masterful job. So I appreciate that as well. So these are our announcements and I'm getting them out the way. That's what I'm trying to do, y'all. That's what I'm trying to do. All right. So let me also let you know, if you are new here, you can actually subscribe to the Mad Church Disease newsletter. This newsletter will keep you up to date on all things Mad Church Disease. It will also help you to find out when we're doing private lives, or we're going to do some private lives. Sometimes we call them private lives, but we just meet in a different location that you can possibly participate in. And so I just wanted to make you aware by signing up for that. That will most certainly help you find out more about Mad Church Disease. Also, if you are supporting the platform, I want to shout out Sharon T. I want to shout out Lady T, I'm sorry, for supporting the podcast. You are the first person tonight to support the podcast. If you are interested in supporting the work that we do, you can, of course, do so. The Cash App information is on the screen. We primarily do ask everybody to do Cash App, but of course, all of those other avenues, of course, are available to you as well. I will be calling some names of those of you who have been supporting over the last couple of lives. I don't want to miss you guys out. I don't want to not tell you guys, but I got a long road to carry tonight, and y'all know I don't normally like to keep y'all too long. So let me just get about the business of doing what I'm doing. So I want you guys to, strap in, settle in, because this is going to be, I think, one of the best lives that we have done all week long. Welcome to the Mad Church Disease Channel, a channel dedicated to our forgotten brothers and sisters throughout the ages. Want to stay connected to me and the Mad Church Disease community? Well, then join our email community newsletter. Stay in the know with all the updates and fresh content that is created for this channel. It's time you join the private community for the revolutionary family, where we can talk and laugh all in a space that's safe with a no judgment zone. Connect with other members and build lasting friendships. The doors are now open. Want to stay connected and be notified each time I go live? Subscribe to the text community and be notified each time that we go live. Simply add your details for instant updates on all our lives. Are you a budding YouTuber or business professional who would like my thoughts on all things business related? Book a free 15-minute consultation where I can help with social media, YouTube, web design, and so much more. Book your consultation now and build your future. Get away from the rat race and build your business. Shout out to all of you. Tonight, we are definitely about to have a phenomenal conversation tonight. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have been dealing, of course, again with the fallout of Larry Reid from the Larry Reid live show, as well as Bernard Jordan and his son Manasseh. And they're really, quite frankly, I guess you can say their entire family, because it looks like there was shots taken at everybody. And I'm just saying, it looks like Larry was trying to leave no stone unturned. And so tonight I want to go over the Patreon live that Larry did. And I want to talk about lies. I want to talk about betrayal. I want to talk about being fathered, being mentored. And so we're going to elevate our conversation a little bit differently tonight. We're going to go up a little higher. Y'all know I like to go a little higher and a little deeper. Now, y'all know I have a great sense of humor, so we are going to laugh. This is not a church show, but this is a show about church. So we just discuss all sorts of things. So I need for you to settle in, enjoy yourself, and don't get mad at me when I start laughing, because I can't help it. When I think about Larry, sometimes I just crack up. Larry is hilarious. I have to just be honest. Larry is funny as all get out. And I learned something over this last couple of days. So we're going to have a great conversation tonight. Now, many of you know Larry and Bernard had a situation where Larry is he's spazzing out, I think. I think Larry he lost control. You all remember the other day he put up a post where he was just going at Bernard Jordan, and Larry was quite upset. That's the nice way that we'll put it. We'll just say Larry was upset. Okay. So Larry was upset. He made a post, and he went ham on Bernard Jordan, as well as St. James of the St. James Show. And if you were unaware of that, we have a video that we've already posted up that you can definitely take a look at. And he just went ham, ladies and gentlemen. And after that, Larry actually went on another vlogger's platform, and he just was making all kinds of comments, some accusations. By the way, I downloaded that video. I have that video as well. And he pretty much just made allegations, in my opinion, towards Bernard Jordan's sexuality. And he was just unhinged. That's the best way that I can say it. He was just quite unhinged. And this reflection tonight is not to be as well, to be malicious towards Larry. It is to do what I did the other day. Because if I would not have done what I did the other day, Larry would have probably tried to come out here and expose Bernard Jordan. But just like I told you all the other day, if he tries to expose Bernard Jordan, he's going to expose himself. And when we had our interaction, y'all see that he started the backstroke faster than any U.S. Olympian I've ever seen him. I'm already starting. In my whole life, Larry did the backstroke so fast, he won the gold medal, the silver medal, and he won the bronze. Let me tell you something. Bernard Jordan came up here and showed Larry he's not afraid of Larry at all. What did he do? He leaned into the camera. He said, Larry, Larry, Larry. And all I know is Larry was backtracking as fast as he could possibly go. So here's the situation, ladies and gentlemen. So he rolls over into Patreon. Now, I'm going to tell you, now this is my humble opinion of this Patreon business. It was an absolute nothing burger. It really was a nothing burger. I'm going to tell you some of the things here. I'm going to show you some screenshots. I'm going to show you a couple of things here tonight, but I promise you, this is an absolute nothing burger. Okay. And I told you guys several things. Now, I'm not a prophet, but I'm a spiritual person. I'm a very spiritual man. And I feel like when the Lord speaks and lays things on my heart, and I just speak it to you all when I come on these platforms, and I know it's hard for people to believe that, people like us could be spiritual, but we spiritual too. I told you guys several things the other day. Let's rehash for just a minute. And those of you that saw the private live and y'all paid the $4.99, y'all tell me if I'm not telling the truth. I told you, number one, that Larry had not been fathered. And when you've never been fathered, it makes a difference. Larry started off in his video talking about the fact that his family left him or dropped him, and he had not properly been fathered. He actually said that in the video. I told you this. The second thing I told you is that this was pretty much primarily over money, that Larry was upset because Larry has just now come to the realization that he has given away a lot of money to Bernard Jordan. And he started looking around at what he owned and what he had, and he was feeling the weight of the vanishing of his funds, and he was angry about it. He actually said that in the video. The third thing I want to tell you guys tonight is when you are not properly fathered, when you are not properly fathered, you do not understand or cannot really hang on to a mentor-mentee type relationship, because typically mentee-mentor relationships are steeped in an understanding of fatherhood or fathering. And Larry has used those words interchangeably several times. I've noticed he's said mentoring and he's also said father several times. And so tonight we're going to go a little bit deeper tonight. And so we're going to get into that dynamic a little bit as well with you guys. So let's do it. Now I'm going to tell you this. If you're new to my channel, I try to get you out of here within about an hour and 30 minutes. I'm not a long-winded person. I try not to be anyway, but I am a preacher. So, hey, what do you want from me? Okay. What do you want from me? So I'm going to do my very best to condense all of this information. If you are here because you thought I was going to go back and forth with any vlogger or any person that has said anything over the last couple of days, you're in the wrong place, because I'm in a place of protecting my peace. Those days are long over. Okay. All I can tell you is we wish all of those vloggers well. We wish that they find themselves a very good place of peace. We wish that they develop a relationship with God that's genuine and real. I pray that they understand that there is no hatred. I have no animosity in my heart towards anybody, and I'm leaving it there, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to give you a breakdown of what we're going to talk about tonight. And so let's go. You ready? Number one, we're going to talk about the first section of this. We're going to talk about spiritual mentor relationship. We're going to talk about the spiritual mentor relationship that, according to Larry, turned into betrayal and separation. The second part of this, we're going to talk about specific text messages and a timeline of communication between Larry, Bernard, and Manasseh. The third part of this, we're going to talk about financial interactions, the loans, the gifts, the promises, and how much money Larry has spent. Where am I at? 1, 2, 3. With the fourth thing we're going to talk about is professional service relationships that ended because of family conflict, such as the bots, the apps, and the contractors that Larry had in place. I told you, I'm not new to this. I'm true to it. So hang on, y'all. You're going to get a lot of knowledge tonight. We're also going to talk about in the next session, personal slander, sexual allegations involving Bishop Jordan, and I'll allude a little bit to the Manasseh part because I don't even really. Larry just something else. I'll just leave it at that. And the last part we're going to get into is the public platform conflicts, such as the post videos, the media war, and the exclusion of silence from the family towards Larry. And I'm sorry, one more. And then we're going to talk about the emotional, psychological consequences of hurt trauma, toxic loyalty, and Larry's version of prioritizing himself. All right. Now, I want you all to know, because you guys know I'm a very thorough vlogger, I have downloaded the entire transcript, time-stamped, of Larry Reid's video. So this is just not my opinion. These are the things that Larry has said. I'm going to read verbatim some of the things that he said, and I'm going to give you a thorough understanding of what was behind the Patreon wall. And so this should help you understand. Now, I'm a funny dude, so I am going to laugh. I'm warning you now, because a lot of stuff that Larry says cracks me up. Now, I don't mean this to be mean toward you, Larry, but here's the thing, Larry. You often say, and you said this in your video, you said many of the vloggers aren't going to come out and tell about all of the sacrifices that you have made towards other people. And they're never going to tell you about all the things that I do for other people. Well, Larry, one of the reasons why many people probably can't tell about all of those things, Larry, number one, because you're hiding everything behind a paywall. That's number one. But number two, Larry, you don't really make an open display of the things that you do for others, while then crying about you're not getting credit for things. First of all, the Bible speaks against it. Number one, we're not supposed to be coming out here showing everybody everything that we do for everybody. That's just not something, believers are supposed to do. And to be quite frank with you, Larry, I don't know what you are. Even in the midst of this video, you told some lady that her sister was trying to come through you like a medium, and she was trying to communicate to you from the dead. And I mean, so I don't know I don't know where you are, Larry. And that's part of the confusion that so many of us who have followed you for over the years have when it comes to you. All right, so let's start with the first part of this. Now, before I get into the first part of this, Bernard Jordan and family, I just want to reiterate, this is the written judgments book that I went out and purchased. Many of the people that speak and talk and say all of this kind of stuff, they're not coming from a place of reading. They're not coming from a place of knowledge. I'm just not somebody that talks about these things. I read voraciously. And I know some individuals don't like the fact that, I can speak. I don't know what to tell you. My mother made it a priority in our home. Reading was very, very important. I used to have to sit down and read to my mother as a child. One of my favorite people in the whole wide world was an articulate Black man on NBC. His name was Brian Gumble. I wanted to grow up and be just like Brian Gumble. That was you want to call him my idol as a child. That was the person that I looked up to. I loved Brian Gumble. And one of those days I thought I was going to be on television. Who knew I was going to be on YouTube? How about that? But I loved Brian Gumble. And so, but I'm just not a person who talks about these things, Bernard. I actually read the book. All right, here's the thing. Currently, I'm actually reading a book called No More Dreaded Mondays. This was a book written by Dan Miller. It is now on the New York Times bestseller list. I just thought I'd share. So all of you that, are spending your time worried about housewives and all that kind of stuff, I'm over here reading. That's what I do. I'm a voracious reader. Let's move on. First part of this, I want to ask a question. I want to see how really up to date some of you in this chat are. Okay. What was the first reason, not from the video, but just in general, what reason did Larry Reid first come out and give all of us as to the breakup between him and Bernard Jordan, or the distance between the two of them? Who remembers? Put it in the chat if you remember. I want to see it. I'll give you some time. Put it in the chat. What was the first reason that Larry gave as to why him and Bernard Jordan had separated? Does anybody? Okay. Okay. Some of you think it was Trump. It wasn't Trump. Anybody remember? And he is a liar. You are correct, because he always lying. Anybody remember? Okay. Some people said Carlton Pearson's funeral. No, it wasn't a funeral either. Okay. Okay. Let me go ahead. Let me go ahead and help y'all out. All right. Let me stop y'all. The very first thing that Larry Reid said as to why, that was like the third or fourth reason, Tasha. Oh, I'm gonna break this thing down, because see, everybody be forgetting. That's why I told y'all I'm not new to it. I'm true to it. The first reason that Larry gave us as to the separation between him and Bernard Jordan. Now, see if this don't prick your memory. He said because him and Bernard's contract had ended. Y'all remember that? He said the reason why him and Bernard were no longer in communication or speaking on that level was because their contract had ended. Y'all remember he came out and he said that Bernard and him was under contractual agreement, and he said that his job was to go out and help improve Bernard Jordan's reputation. That was the first thing. Now, y'all remember Larry say he don't never tell no lies. That was the first reason he gave us, right? All right, let's move on. So let's start our conversation on tonight's Patreon. Inside of the Patreon, ladies and gentlemen, Larry Reid made several statements regarding Bishop Bernard Jordan. He took away the bishop and just simply called him Bernard. He also made references to Manasseh. Here's what pretty much has happened. The long-term mentor mentee relationship that Larry believed that he had between Bernard Jordan has now been severed. So Larry is now questioning the mentorship. He's questioning the prophetic teaching. He's questioning whether or not Bernard and him had some sort of mentor relationship. So much so that in the video, ladies and gentlemen, at one particular time, Larry Reid said that that Spirit told him. These are the words that he used, ladies and gentlemen. He said Spirit told him that he was not supposed to look at Bernard and Carlton Pearson anymore as mentors, that he was supposed to begin to look at them as colleagues. Did y'all hear what I said? He said he was no longer supposed to look at them as mentors, that he had to look at them as colleagues. So in essence, ladies and gentlemen, what Larry was essentially saying is that Carlton Pearson and Bernard Jordan and him are all on the same level. Okay. Now I'm going to tell you from my personal experience with Carlton Pearson. I want to tell you that I find that quite problematic. At one particular time, ladies and gentlemen, in America, there were only two Black men that were on nationwide television. One of them was a man by the name of Frederick K.C. Price. The second man in American history that was on nationwide television was a little scrawny fellow from Oklahoma by the name of Carlton Demetrius Pearson. Larry says Spirit told him that he was no longer to look at Bernard and Carlton as mentors, but they had now become colleagues. Now, Larry actually tried this one night with Demetrius Senegal. I'll never forget this. I'll never forget this. Larry and Demetrius were having this back and forth. And Larry says to Demetrius Senegal, when he got fed up with Demetrius, he says to Demetrius, he says, well, I'm older than you, and you should just respect me just for that cause, but I'm also been doing ministry longer than you, so you need to respect me. Demetrius fell out laughing. And at the time, I didn't realize why Demetrius was laughing, because, oh, Demetrius was cracking up. He was cracking up. When I actually found out more about Larry Reid, I understand why that statement is completely laughable. Larry has presented himself to the public, in my opinion, as being this pastor for 20 years, and he's had this international ministry and all of this stuff that Larry has presented himself to the public as. Well, after doing some research, I have discovered quite the contrary to some of the things that Larry has stated. All of Larry's churches were probably not more than 20 people, or 20 or 50 people. I'll be generous. We'll say 50 people, but 25 of those lived in the house with him. Oh, Lord help me. 25 of those people lived in the house with him. I mean, everybody lived with Larry. And so it became quite an interesting situation, ladies and gentlemen, right? So Larry, he puts himself out there like he's been this pastor, and he's just been this great leader for all of these years. And I think it is a slap in the face to say to Black men who have been in ministry for, I mean, decades, that you are no longer the mentee, you are now or you're comrades or colleagues. I find that quite disturbing, but it also goes to show you the mentality of Larry Reid. Larry Reid, from his narcissistic perch, has always thought more highly of himself, and he has such a narcissistic vantage point of who he is and what he is, that I think it clouds his judgment much to his detriment. And he can't seemingly seem to understand that he's not on the same level as a lot of these individuals that he keeps talking about, and he keeps trying to put himself in the same level with. But I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, tonight we're walking a little heavy, because I want this to be something that you all can take, and it will forever live on this channel, and folks will be able to understand as a point of reference. Let us continue tonight. The breakdown process from Larry is described as a year-long breakdown. Larry said that there were some pivotal moments that began in 2019, and it carried all the way over into 2002. He said there was ongoing problems or little things that he noticed. And he said that there was a stronger separation that was at the beginning of 2022, and a clear separation around November of 2024. Final ruptures kind of happened in the relationship between January and March of 2025. Y'all know I'm good with my stuff, so y'all stick with me. So here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. I want to recap. Larry said, I want y'all to get this, because see, this is how you know Larry's a liar. Now I'm walking heavy, so check this out. The breakdown process, according to Larry, it was a years long process. It started in 2019, it carried over to 2002. He says the stronger separation started in the beginning of 2022, and a clear separation around November of 2024. But the final ruptures in the relationship were around January, March of this year. Now, ladies and gentlemen, that should also leave you with some questions. If you all remember, ladies and gentlemen, Larry went around the internet last year, all the way up into the beginning part of this year, saying that him and the Jordans were still cool with one another, that he was still friends with them. He was still friends with Manasseh. He was friends with everybody. But y'all remember, Larry says he doesn't tell lies. Keep that in mind. But at one point, St. James of the St. James Show reached out to Manasseh and texted Manasseh about this donation that his father, Bernard, had made to, I believe, Virginia University. If I didn't say that proper, then it was a university. And he made a substantial donation to this university. And Manasseh texts back to let St. James know that Larry and his family were no longer in relationship, which made Larry have to go back to that other blogger's platform and try to correct the record. But Larry don't tell no lies. Now, Larry is saying that these conflicts with the Jordans started to surface both privately through text messages, calls, and meetings that he had, and also public platforms such as the conferences and live shows that have been done on the internet. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. And I told you, this is what I do. Now, Larry, when asked why these things have transpired, Larry is giving these explanations according to his Patreon and his live in Patreon, that there became differences in values and guidance. The spiritual directions that Bernard was trying to take him in was conflicting with what he says Spirit told him. Now, he didn't tell you what spirit it was. He kept saying Spirit told him. At one point, he finally got to the Holy Ghost or Holy Spirit. He said that later in the video. But he kept saying Spirit told him. And every time he said it, I kept saying to myself, well, what spirit told you that stuff? Okay. In my mind, what spirit? Because that's just how my mind worked, right? So he said, he walked away. Let me go back. And all of this started between text calls and so forth. The differences in values and guidance. And also, Larry said that he started perceiving that he was being manipulated. So all of this is perception from Larry's mind and based on what he claimed that he's felt in his spirit. Oh, this is going to get good. Y'all stick with me. I promise you. I'm trying to take you. I'm reading notes because these are notes from his Patreon. I'm trying to tell you, I do a good job at my stuff. Stick with me. I know I can be a little long-winded, but I promise you, this is going to be my last video, so I got to get it all out. Here we go. So he says he perceived manipulation and patterns of behavior of control, financial exploitation, and family first loyalties from the Jordan family. Larry felt that the Holy Spirit confirmed for him that he should walk away. And after he walked away, he recognized layers of trauma driving his loyalty to Bernard Jordan. Now, this is where I got to get it a little chuckle. So, ladies and gentlemen, Larry starts off this live in this Patreon. Oh, that's the wrong one. That's the wrong one. Which one did I want? Well, that's going to come later. Oh, Lord, let me remove this one. That ain't the one I want. We'll talk about that in a minute. We'll talk about that in a minute. Larry comes on, ladies and gentlemen, on the live. He clutches his chest. He puts his head down. I think I have trauma. I have unresolved trauma. And I'm saying, Lord help me. I'm looking at this video. I mean, he done clutched his chest. I mean, he getting into it, y'all. I have trauma. I think I don't want to read this word for word to y'all. He opens up, he says, I explained myself. I took ownership for exploding because I did. I took ownership for being hijacked. I was hijacked. Now, he didn't say who hijacked him. That's really the word. That's what he said. I was hijacked in the moment. That's what he said. I swear I can't make this up. And so Larry goes on and he goes on. I ain't gonna read this word for word. We're gonna go on because I told you I do my homework. But he said he felt hijacked in the moment. Now, I want to talk to you all about, first of all, the perceived manipulation. And I want you to pay very close attention. Now, to all of the men in here, oh, let me tell you something, Tasha Global. Now, I'm looking over here in the chat this go round. Let me tell you something. I have never seen one episode of that darn, what they say he was on Kingdom Business and BET. Let me tell you something. Larry gave a Rotten Tomatoes performance. Let me tell you something. I'm telling you, Dolomite would have been jealous. Let me tell you something. because ain't no A-list actor gonna have anything to say about that performance. I'm telling you, except that it was horrible. I have never seen such poor acting in all of my life, and we're gonna get to it. We're gonna get to it. I said but he's actually pretty good for a B actor, B-list actor. He's pretty good. I said, he is really putting on a performance here. All right, let us continue, ladies and gentlemen. And I quote, when I walked away and came out of that, within 24 hours, Bernard was sending me a text that was opposite of what the Holy Ghost was telling me, end quote. Now, Larry was talking about him going over to Ghana and going to the dungeons or the I guess the prisons or whatever where the slaves were held. And he made a comment about Bernard's doctorate of ministry degree and how stupid he felt that Bernard was by saying that, Bernard should have known the difference of, what they actually were, because he said, well, Bernard has a doctorate of divinity like me, and so he should have known better. And I'm sitting there saying to myself, now, Larry, in the E. Dewey Smith case, when the lawyer asks you, when did you get your doctorate degree? You told the lawyer that you got your doctorate degree at the same time you got your bachelor's. So the man turned around and asked you the question again. He said, excuse me? Said, Larry, you got your what? At the same time that you got what? Say that again. Oh, yeah. I got my doctorate degree at the same time I got my bachelor's degree. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it don't take rocket science. Go do your homework. Go do your research on this so-called degree of Mr. Reid and find out who gave him that degree. It might lead you to AutoZone. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm going to say to that. It might lead you to AutoZone. Let's go back. Oh, Lord, help me get through this. Larry's so full of it. Okay, let me go. Quote, I did not do or say anything that was not proper for the moment. I explained myself. I took ownership, but I was hijacked in the moment, referring to how he responded on that other vlogger's platform and on the internet. He said, and I quote, this was the first time I felt like he sensed something was happening when I was there, and I felt like I was getting out of his grips. So he said the text message, when Bernard sent him a text message, he felt like, and he showed the text message, that he was getting out of the grips of Bernard Jordan. And he felt at that time that he was able and that his mind was getting clearer, and he was understanding that the manipulation and the scales was falling from his eyes, and he just felt like Bernard was manipulating him. Let us continue, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, and let me go. Second part, text and timeline, trying to go in order. Larry and Bernard and Manasseh and another gentleman and another woman. I believe the woman, these might have been the kids, but I don't want to put their names out there like that, because that's just not me. But the rest of them are public figures, and they don't mind their names being out there. So I'm not going to put the other people's names out here. That's, even though the other, he did it in his private life, but I'm just saying, I'm not going to put y'all name out there. He said specific messages and dates. Larry's starting to read these text messages, and he's showing the tone and content that he feels like the differences, plus the timeline of his last communications with Bernard. These are some key dates that you all need to keep in mind. November the 15th, he says, text from Bernard after Larry left a meeting. He said, Larry, he read the text, the long text that you see on your screen, and it was about the slave castles and the clearing of those slave castles, November the 15th. Then on November the 17th at 8:46 p.m., Larry sends, Bernard sends a text to Larry about releasing Larry from a $300,000 debt that Larry Reid borrowed from Bernard Jordan. Now, I want y'all to hear the number I just quoted. Larry Reid borrowed $300,000 from Bernard Jordan. But in this same video, Larry told his followers he is frugal. He went as far as to tell those people, if I have a penny, I squeeze that penny until it becomes 4 other pennies. But he was $300,000 in debt. And you all will hear me later talk to you about the $65,000 that he was in debt. And he was taking out loans, trying to keep himself and his quote unquote ministry afloat. But this man is the man that has come out on the internet and told everybody that he is a multi-millionaire. And I'm going to tell you how crazy Larry is in this Patreon video and what he said. This was crazy. I can't even make this up. He said God told him that Bernard Jordan was supposed to give him $300,000. I kid you not, this is in the video. But Bernard said it was supposed to be a loan to him. So Bernard loaned him the money. I know, Rita, this is crazy. But Bernard expected to be paid back. But at some point in the video, Larry says, Bernard should have just gave me the money. I mean, this is how callous he was. He should have just gave it to me anyway. Like he was due the money or something. He said, because I done gave the man all of this money and gave all of this money to the ministry. He should have just gave it to me. I said, I mean, this is the whole elitist mentality, in my opinion, from this guy, right? This guy has a crazy mentality. And this is just my opinion. You may not agree, but this is just how I feel. And this is what he said. Then on November the 28th, he gets a Thanksgiving text, or he sends a Thanksgiving text to the family. And then on December the 28th, they have a back and forth about their Christmas gifts, and they talk about their Christmas gifts. Bernard Jordan sends Larry a umbrella. I believe this umbrella was from Neiman Marcus. I may be wrong, but I believe that umbrella that you see on the screen here was from Neiman Marcus. So they exchange text messages. I think I'm doing pretty good if you watch the video. So they go through this text exchange. Ladies and gentlemen, January 17th rolls around. Larry sends him a text message and says, now get this. Now I can't make this up. I want y'all to lean in and pay very close attention to what I'm about to say. Larry sends Bernard Jordan a text message, and this is what the text message reads. I'm in Ghana. Love you. End quote. Now, ladies and gentlemen, do you remember when Larry was going around on everybody's platform trying to say that Bishop T.D. Jakes was grooming Manasseh, and he sent him a picture and a text message that said, love you, thinking of you? Do you all remember when Larry tried to say that those few words was being prepped for grooming? Y'all remember that? Y'all remember that? Y'all don't remember that? Y'all don't remember that? Y'all having a tough time remembering?
He discussed in this video, he experienced it at the hands of Bishop T.D. Jakes, and he told me it was Bishop T.D. Jakes. This is not the only situation or the only person that has a testimony or story like this. For Manasseh, it was grooming, and the grooming was excessive, manipulative, and he did confront Bishop Jakes about it and how he was handled. I was instrumental in getting Prophet Manasseh and his father, Bishop E. Bernard Jordan, back talking. They were estranged at the time. He then began to get mentored by Prophet Hargrove. That mentorship started before him and his father was estranged. Then Hargrove died. Then Benny Hinn began to mentor Prophet Manasseh Jordan. For those of you that ask, he is not talking about Benny Hinn. He is talking about Bishop Jakes, who he went to afterwards. Because then Manasseh.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not new to it. I'm true to it. Now, where do we have these likes? Let me go over here and look. Are you guys liking the video? Please make sure you do so. I'm working hard here. I really am working hard. If y'all could get me to at least 500 likes, I would appreciate it. We're at 300 about now. Please hit the like button, ladies and gentlemen. If you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please do so, because this is where I give thorough information and I do my very best to make sure that you are getting the best information. And I want you to know that you can trust the information that you are receiving. And so please hit the like button and make sure you subscribe to the channel. Larry went all around the internet saying that this picture of Bishop Jakes that was sent to Manasseh was Bishop Jakes grooming Manasseh. I find it very ironic that Larry mentions this text message that he sent to Bishop Jordan from Ghana. I'm in Ghana. I love you. So let me ask you a question, Larry. If you're sending text messages like I'm in Ghana and I love you, were you grooming Bernard Jordan? Because you said this kind of speech is tantamount of grooming. So maybe there was a grooming going in reverse here. Just a question I have, just kind of how my brain works, because you said, Larry, that when Bishop T.D. Jakes sent Manasseh a message like that, just said, I was thinking of you, you said he was being groomed. Were you grooming Bishop Jordan? Just a thought. Y'all know how my brain works. Shout out to all of you that are hitting the like button. I appreciate every single one of you. Shout out to Ann Brock. By the way, Ann Brock, thank you so much for your contributions to the vlogging community. I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much. Shout out to Ann Brock for putting the color on it. These are just questions I have, ladies and gentlemen. Let us continue, because that's what he said. That's what he said. Let me see. I don't want to go. I'm missing my notes here. Okay. Bishop Bernard replied, and I quote, "I'm uncertain as to what to say. You remind me of how painful mentoring is." And then he goes on to say something to the effect of, he said that Bernard used to always say something about how treacherous Manasseh's betrayal of him was, and how Larry, would always, remind him, and he appreciated Larry because Manasseh was so treacherous. So of course, he's throwing shots in this live talking about Manasseh is treacherous for his betrayal of his father. And he said that Bernard used to always say that to him. That's according to Larry and the video. Don't play no games, because I got it. And don't force me to put the videos out. Okay? Because I'm giving accurate information here. Ain't no lies told. Here we go. Now, before I go on to this part, now I'll come back to that in a minute. Okay. Now let me talk about the painfulness of mentorship just for a minute, if y'all don't mind. One of the things that I told you guys the other night is Larry has not been properly fathered. And you can tell that he's not been properly fathered because Larry is emotionally driven. He is not driven from a core. And he always says this, and this is how you all will know that he's not telling the truth. Larry says, I'm a principled person. I want y'all to hear me something. I want you to hear me. Listen to me very carefully. Principled people work from their core of their being. They're not reactionary people. Principled people are reserved, and they reserve their reservations come because of their principles. When you are a principled person, you are not reactionary. You normally are more cognitive than you are emotional. Larry is very sassy and very emotionally driven. So much so, ladies and gentlemen, if I read to you the first part of this message, you will know he's sassy because he was cussing. Now, ye always be talking about the rest of us who cuss and stuff. Oh, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Let me see if I can find it on the transcript. He said, and I quote, like 6 years of some stuff when they just ain't my nature. Go live, blast. Go live, blast. Call you, blast. That's my norm. So he's telling you he's more emotionally driven than he is cognitively driven. He says, to a certain time, I see silence as weak. It's just not my nature. That's what he says. I'm gonna call you a bitch. Now, this is verbatim. I'm just telling you what the man said. And I'm gonna call you a motherfucker. That's what he said. I kid you not. This the great prophet. This the great man of God. Tell you, so these folks are something else. I'm gonna call you a crazy ass, no good, slimy. You know, you're gonna go some kind of way, you know, and bitch and motherfucker. That's what he said. Exactly, bitch. When you say that to another. I'm just saying, y'all know I love my transcripts. Because you can't, y'all know I love my transcripts. Exactly. Easier. For someone else, it's easy, but it's very difficult for me. And then I have my ego. That's what he said. Talk about his ego. And I'm going to end my quote there. Where we at? Hold on. Because I want to make, okay, that's right. Boom. Okay. Moving right along. Moving right along. Shout out to Miss Furlow Speaks. Thank you for supporting and putting the color on it. I appreciate you. Love you much. Thank you. All right, y'all. Let me continue. We got. Listen. He said that's normally his nature. That's what the man said. He said that's his normal response. But then again, he says he's principled. Back to being father, because I don't want to get off of that. I want y'all to hear me. When a man has been properly fathered. Now, I had my father in my life. Now, let me tell you something. My sisters and brothers might have a difference of opinion here. Oh, yes, Shy Rosalind. They sure are. Yes, they are. They're a blessing. It's a blessing to the reading of the word, I tell you. Y'all know I'm a goofball. I had my daddy in my life. My father was a hardworking dude. He worked for the city. And he was a hard worker. Now, he had a lot of kids. I ain't gonna, he had a lot of children. He had a lot of baby mamas. So he was a very popular man. He was in the South. He had a good job. Ladies love El Cool J. You know how I go. So, but my father when I was around my father, he was a very strong person. I didn't look at my father as weak. I knew my father wasn't weak. I knew my father was very strong. And when you are in the presence of a father, there is an atmosphere difference from being in the presence of your mother. Sometimes when you're in the presence of your father, there isn't even necessarily a word that has to be spoken, but there is a respect factor there. And there is something that is caught in the eye when you are fathered. But there is also a depth of respect and love and admiration for a father, so that when you are in the presence of your father, there are certain things that you do not do or you do not say, as well as your mother. But right now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking about fathers and being fathered. And something that I have picked up on long time ago about Larry is that Larry has never been properly fathered. And when a man, I'm just talking from my perspective and my opinion, when a man has not been properly fathered, he a lot of times is emotionally driven, and he is not necessarily driven by principle or cognitive. He's not driven by his mind. He's driven by his emotion. Here's the way I'll describe it. When you get a scar, your mama comes over with a cotton ball and some peroxide, and she starts, dapping on the thing. Oh, my poor baby, you got a little boo-boo. And she dapping you, you get a boo-boo from your daddy. Oh, he might put some peroxide on there later, but he gonna probably come right behind your mama and he gonna smack you on the very place that you got hurt on, and you're gonna be like, you gonna and in your mind you thinking this nigga crazy. He done, he gonna hit you on the very place that you've been hurt. Do you not realize that sometimes in order to be fathered properly, that a father, whether he is quote unquote mentoring you, sometimes he has to hit you on the very place that is the most sensitive to you. Oh, y'all ain't gonna walk with me tonight. All right, I feel you. Sometimes your parents, when they're trying to mentor you for the world, they can't always give you the fluff. Sometimes your parents have to mentor you and hit you in the place that you are most vulnerable. And that is so that place can become matured, so that when someone in the world hits that spot, it's not going to get the same reaction, because you have been matured emotionally as well as cognitively. And when you see a person like Larry respond to mentorship and mentoring, because y'all have to keep in mind, Larry begged this man to mentor him. Most of us who've been around for a long time, we know Larry was begging this dude to mentor him. It's almost like the children of Israel. The children of Israel was begging for a king. You want a king, you want a king, you want a king. And Larry wanted to go into the land with milk and honey. That's where Larry wanted to go. He wanted to make 100,000. For those of you that's been around, Christine, you've been around. You remember he used to cry. Oh, I just can't wait to get back to 100,000. I just want to make $100,000 a year again. That's what I want to make. He met Bernard Jordan, and according to Bernard Jordan, he made way more money than that. Now, Bernard, I want to tell you, I don't think Larry made as much money as he's been telling y'all, and I'm gonna tell you why. And I'm gonna tell you, that's just my opinion and my estimation. I can't prove that, but I'm just gonna tell you, I don't think what Larry said he was making was true, and I'm gonna tell you why I don't think that was true in a little while. So he wanted to make all of this money, but he begged for this mentor, and the children of Israel was always begging for this king. And then sometimes when you've got to go through a wilderness experience and you've got to be mentored, you've got to be taught, you've got to be educated. Sometimes it is painful to be mentored and to be educated. Sometimes your parents have to, painfully bring you. But let me tell you something about mentorship, if I can. Mentorship is also constricting. Let me tell you what about mentorship. Mentorship constricts and constrains. Lord, I know I'm doing good. I know I'm walking heavy. I know. All right, y'all. I'm gonna get out of my churchy bone. I know some of y'all are just like, whoa. Mentorship constrains. Let me tell you how mentorship constrains you. Because when you allow somebody to speak into your life and to mentor you or to help you, especially if you've asked for it, you have to constrain yourself to the advice that the person is trying to give you. Even in business, those of us who have businesses, when we have mentors in business, one of my mentors used to tell me all the time, he said, Marcellus, if you're going to live a top shelf life, you have to stand on the books you read. That's why I'm such a voracious reader. Even the books that the other folk don't read, written judgments, you judge me, but I'm sitting over here reading the stuff, and all these other people, they don't even read nothing. They don't read nothing. You over there reading astrology books and trying to find God in the stars and the sun and the moon and electrolytes and the back of a milk carton. I'm just saying, you reading all kinds of stuff, just reading everything. Let's keep going, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just saying, Larry's a whole mess. January 17th is cited the last text communication. So on January the 17th, Larry says that was the last text communication that he received. And the last phone call that he received was in the month of November. March 25th, he received a text from, I believe this is the youngest son of Bernard Jordan. I'm not going to say his name, but he received a text from the youngest son of Bernard Jordan. And Bernard Jordan's son had to tell him, unfortunately, I'm going to have to refund you your $1,600, and I'm stepping away from this bot building or building you an app because there is a conflict of interest. So Bernard Jordan's son was building something for Larry's ministry. And because of how Larry conducted himself, he didn't think that there was going to be ramifications for his behavior and his coming online and making certain statements toward the Jordan family, and the Jordan family cut him off. Yes, Lord, they cut him off, and they began to insulate themselves and focus on the nucleus of their family, and they cut him off. Larry says he was devastated, but he really didn't become devastated until Manasseh cut him off. According to Larry, he ran into the closet and he cried because he wanted to separate, but he said he did not want to lose the relationship. That's what he said. I'm just saying, ladies and gentlemen, let's move on. Now, this is all done through text messages and threads. Larry says he saved them. He archived some of the messages, and he did read some of the messages, as I said to you guys, online. Okay. Now, where am I? Now, I think, according to Larry, these texts illustrate a misalignment of his spirit versus what he felt Bernard was messaging him at. He said his spirit was not aligning with Bernard's spirit. And he said that became evidence to him that he was no longer supposed to be mentored by Bernard Jordan. And so he was going to cut ties. Larry began reading and quoting Bernard's November the 15th text about the slave castle and the clearing. And then on November the 17th, he said, when he did the text message, he wanted to thank Bernard for releasing him from the ministry for the remainder of the ministry debt. Now, y'all listen to me. How is a multimillionaire $300,000 in debt? Why does he have to go to Bernard Jordan and ask for a loan? I'm just asking some general questions here. Just now, if you all remember correctly, for those of you that's been following this Larry Reid and understanding this story, Vincent Hill told us a long time ago that around Christmas, November, December, around that time of the year, that Larry's ministry has always been struggling. That is nothing new. Now, Larry uses this excuse, talking about, oh, this is happening to everybody. Everybody's ministry is going down. About 60%, everybody's ministry is going down. But Vincent told us every year that he's known Larry and they've been in ministry that they have struggled around that time. So it's nothing different. So Larry can put it off on the time in the economy, but according to Vincent, he's always struggled around this time. Let's move on. And one thing I can tell you, just based on watching your live, Larry, you don't know how to handle money, and that's why you're in the condition that you're in. But let me move on, because we've been telling you the same stuff for 4 years, dummy. You don't own nothing. You don't have no property in your name. You don't own anything. And you took all them people's money, and now you've come to realization that you don't own anything. And didn't I tell y'all that? Didn't I tell y'all that the reason why this man was behaving the way that he was behaving, because now he's come to an understanding that he done wasted a whole lot of money? Didn't I tell y'all that? Just pay attention. I told you I'm not new. I'm true. Let's go. Unfortunately, they said that money, gifts, and loans, and how finances have affected their relationship. Let's get into the money. Larry, Bernard, Manasseh, and other donors or contractors. Larry's accountant, according to Larry in the video, him and Bernard used the same accountant. He did mention the lady's name. I'm not going to mention her name here. She's not I just won't be doing that. Okay. And he mentioned others. Okay. So he mentions this lady's name. And Larry says he describes giving large sums to ministry causes, asking Bernard for money or loans in his time of need. He says that when he needed money or whatever, and he would ask for a loan, that they would give him partial payments or whatever. Let me give you the breakdown. At one particular point, as for those of you that follow this story, y'all know that we found out that Elias, that Larry had asked Lovey for $10,000 from back in the day. Y'all remember? And Lovey told him a hijacked no. No, it was a hijacked no. He lifted it up and brought it down and said no. Lovey must know something. Lovey must have known he wasn't going to get his money back. Lovey must have been following that some spirit, because Larry said it was spirit that told him. So I guess it's that same spirit. Y'all know Lovey might have sent a monitoring owl over there to Larry's bank account. Go check out that bank account. I don't think I'm gonna get this. I don't think I'm gonna get this money back. Let me send an owl over there and check, because I know in the world I ain't gonna get my money back. So Lovey said no. So Larry said that he asked three people. He asked Lovey, he asked Manasseh, and he asked Bernard, and all three of them gave him a hijack no. Okay, and I think upon past history, it would make me say no too. I can tell you that. All right. Larry, and so Larry described giving large sums to ministry causes, asking Bernard for money, loans in time of need, and receiving partial payment or promises, and feeling that much of his giving under Bernard's mentorship was used to promote Bernard's ministry for high personal expenditures, like private jets, cars, penthouses, and all this stuff. Now, y'all hold on. I want y'all to walk with me here. Larry said on this video, I can't make this stuff up, that he believes that Bernard used him and propped him up so that it would make other people that was connected with the ministry trust him more, and would ultimately, I guess, give more money to Bernard, because according to Larry, well, you know, he would hold Larry, you know, he would hold Larry up and say, look, it's working for Larry, and therefore if it's working to Larry. Now Larry said, well, he didn't understand, and he didn't it didn't dawn on Larry that he was doing that. But then some kind of way, the spirit woke Larry up and told Larry, wait a minute, some of these people here is just broke, and there's only a couple of people here that's financing this whole thing. And so Larry said, well, there's a lot of poverty around here. That's the exact word he used. There's some poverty around here. Now Larry's broke as a joke, and he worried about somebody else's poverty. Now, just because he's bringing all of this flashing money, and here's my thing. How you bringing all of this money, but you got to take out loans? Now, y'all remember, I came to you and told you about him applying for all these loans. Vincent done came out here and told you that Larry is still applying for loans. And my question to you all, if Larry is a multimillionaire, Bernard Jordan, if your mentee is a multimillionaire, why does he keep applying for loans? How is that? Those two things cannot work together. You can't be a multimillionaire and continuously having to apply for loans. That don't work for me. In my opinion, that just doesn't make any sense. There's some funny money going around here. That's all I'm saying. That's it. He says Bernard used him to promote his ministry. Larry says that he bought all of those houses, the LA property, and all them other properties that he had. He said he bought all of that stuff because of Bernard. That's what he said. He bought it all because of Bernard. Because Bernard would tell him, you need this type of car, so you need to go out. And Larry said, well, he was writing checks for those things. That's what he said. That's what Larry said. It's on the video. I think this is an excellent breakdown. If you saw the video, you need to let these people know I'm giving you a good breakdown here. That's what the man said. Let me continue. Larry is estimating that he's paid over $3 million in context connected to his relationship with Bernard Jordan. He says it's over and above that based upon his tithe to rumor and all of that. So he said it's well above $3 million. Now, let me tell you all something. I told you all that the reason why Larry, Lord help me. The reason why Larry is out here going ham and going crazy and spazzing out. And I swear to y'all, Vincent Hill has been in my head all day, because Vincent said when Larry started acting and behaving like this, he's spazzing out of control. Larry spazzing. And it hit me. Larry spazzing. Larry spazzing. But let me continue. Larry said that he paid way more money than that. And I told you guys that this was all about money. Didn't I tell y'all that? I told you at the end of the day, all these roads were going to lead to money. Larry said, finally in this video, that he started looking around at his life and all of the money that he was spending. And it enraged him, which I knew it was going to eventually. And I told y'all that. But instead of Larry being a principled, cognitive person, Larry emotionally, when he hears certain things and saw Bernard going over there on St. James's platform, he became like what Tasha Global said on her video. Shout out to Tasha Global. He became a scorned lover in a way and sense, because his affinity and affection and unhealthy attachment, I feel, to Bernard Jordan put him in a quandary of emotions and made it so difficult for him to actually deal with the reality of his situation. My God, today I'm teaching good. Somebody send me a cash app. Glory to God. I tell you, I know I'm doing a good work around here. Wait a minute now. Don't y'all slip on me tonight. Shout out to all of you supporting the Mad Church Disease platform. I know I'm teaching good. This is some good stuff here. There's some good stuff. There's some good stuff. Let me see who's supporting. I got to call some names. Let me call some names before I forget. So this would be the perfect time for you to do it, so I don't forget. So I don't forget, ladies and gentlemen. Shout out to all of you supporting. Tracy, thank you. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Chadsani, I hope I said your name right. Darlene, Miss T, thank you so very much for supporting the Mad Church Disease podcast. I appreciate you all on tonight. Let me go over here. I got some more names to read. Y'all give me a moment here. All right. Oh man. Shell, thank you. Karen, thank you. Oh my goodness. Some of you guys, these names be getting me. Ooh, I don't know how. Is it Emmy? Emmy? All right, Emmy. I hope I said your name right. Alice, thank you so much for your support of the Mad Church Disease channel. So thank all of you that are supporting the show tonight. I appreciate every single one of you. Just understand, you guys, it just helps me to keep paying this $500 a year StreamYard bill. And I'm on the low plan. Just imagine if I was on the high plan. The high plan is almost $1,200 a year. I'm just saying. Y'all know I know my numbers and I do my math. Unlike some of these people around here. Some of these people don't know how to do their numbers. They don't know their numbers. One of the things that they teach you in financial services, first above everything, is to learn your numbers. If somebody walk up to you, you're supposed to be able to tell them how much money you got liquid, you have to know your numbers. You can't run a business if you don't know your numbers, dummy. And listen to me, you cannot grow if you cannot quantify. Oh, I just gave you a free lesson, you nincompoop. You can't grow if you can't quantify. Let me continue. Lord have mercy, Larry, them something else, boy. They just wasting them people money. Hey, Bruce, thank you so much for your support. I appreciate it. But see, this is why a lot of these people deserve to go to jail, in my opinion, because they don't know what they're doing and they robbing. Oh, here's another thing. Y'all remember I told y'all the other day? God, I tell you, God sure confirmed this for me. Everything I told y'all was true. Y'all remember when Larry said that he was building all this stuff and he was getting all of this stuff? Y'all remember the question I said? I said, well, how you doing that, Larry? Because you ain't got no job. You know what he said on the live? He said, oh, the MBN network is doing it. Just like I told y'all before. All of that stuff is going in the name of the ministry. It's all going in the name of the ministry. One of these days, y'all gonna learn to appreciate the stuff I tell you. I'm trying to help somebody. Let's go on, ladies and gentlemen. Larry said by the time of his birthday in February that he had radio silence, and that Manasseh had promised to give him, I believe the number was 50,000. Don't quote me specifically. I may not be sure, but I believe the number was around 50,000. He said, no, I think it was 100,000. No, who was going to give him the 100,000? Oh, Manasseh. He said Manasseh was going to give him 100,000. Y'all want to know why he said Manasseh was going to give him 100,000? Oh, you're not going to believe this. Larry goes into telling the Patreon folk. Now, he said, oh, it's alleged, but this is what Manasseh told me. But this is alleged. That's what he did. That TD Jakes gave Manasseh Jordan $1.3 million that he paid him off. That's what he said in the Patreon. That's what he said. That's what he said. And Larry, don't make me come out here and show these people this video because I sure got it. I'm a little bit different. How you think I got these screenshots? How you think the screenshot showed up? The screenshot showed up because I got the video. Don't make me do it. Because that's what you said, Larry. That's what you said. Let me continue, ladies and gentlemen. Let me continue, ladies and gentlemen. Where we at here? Then there were some conferences. Bishop Jordan had a conference. Manasseh had a conference. And Larry said that they made some personal promises to him. And he was waiting on some money from Manasseh. And Manasseh didn't give him the money. He said but this is how he set it up. He said the Spirit told him to not trust them anymore because they had already left him high and dry, like he was due the loans, like it was their job to give him the loans. This is what this fool said, y'all. I swear I can't make this up. This how you know Larry's really immature and that he was not properly fathered, because he had an expectation for these people to keep giving him and loaning him money. He really did. And he was upset. So he said the Spirit told him to leave. And Manasseh later contacted him, according to Larry, and said, well, Larry, why did you leave? You still had stuff to do or something to do. And Larry said he left. He made some excuse or whatever. And then he said, well, are you still going to give me the money? And Manasseh told him no. He said, because I had to fly my father in it, and it cost me $65,000 to fly my father in by jet so he could make it in time for my conference. And he said, oh, and speaking of jet, Larry said that Bernard Jordan made him buy time on private jets that Larry said he has yet to use. He never used the time to fly on these private planes. That's according to what Larry said on the video. Can't make this stuff up. Can't make this stuff up. So, ladies and gentlemen, just a waste of money. Just a waste of people's money. And if you worry so much about the Black community and what the Black community is doing, my advice to you is to go do what I do. Go work in your community. Go sacrifice in your community. Go make sure that children have school supplies. Go make sure that your community is being taken care of. Your seniors are being taken care of. And for those of you that are new to my platform, please don't ever come and ask me what I'm doing for my community, because you have no idea what I do for my community. I do a lot over here for my community. So the best thing to do when you walk into my digital living room is to sit down, take a seat, and listen, because you are going to learn that I am not like what you have seen or heard. I'm cut from a different cloth, and I most certainly am not going to allow you to come in here and question what I do for the Black community. Let me also share with you, since you people coming in here ask me what I'm doing for the Black community. I am, and the organization that I worked with, credited with helping to overturn the 3 strikes law in the state of California. If you do not believe me, there is a video on this channel where I am speaking at a rally, and you are more than welcome to go find that video on this channel and shut up. Don't ever come to this channel and ask me what I'm doing for our community, because I guarantee you, if I shine the microscope and the magnifying glass on your life and your wallet, I guarantee you that mine will outrun yours any day as it relates to our community. Don't ever do that to me over here. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Moving right along. Thank you so much. I just gave you your homework. And since you want to be rude, I'll go ahead and boot you now so I don't have to deal with you no more. And see, that's silliness from bots. I don't have time for faceless YouTubers. Get up out of here. You got to go. Those who know. I don't think so. You're gone. And c'est la vie, be gone. Moving on. Sorry about that, y'all, because y'all know I don't like to do that. Y'all know my work, And I don't like when people come over here and doing all of that stuff. Y'all know I don't play that kind of stuff. I work too darn hard over here. And by the way, you know, one of my friends is the first Black city planning commissioner for the city that I live in. So never question what I do in my local city and how I work in my local city. That you won't fare well with me when you start talking like that. I have boots on the ground. While y'all over there with y'all boots on the ground, whoa, I got my boots on the ground. I'm over here actually working. I'm over here working for all of our communities. So shut up. Don't ever do that. Don't ever do that. Moving right along. I apologize, you all. Y'all know I do not like that. He said Larry was upset because he said, I'm somebody who's invested over $3 million in your ministry. And I quote, he made a $30,000 payment. He promised another $30,000 payment. And he told me that he had to fly his daddy private jet to $65,000. I just told you that, blah, blah, blah. Moving right along. And I quote, Larry said, he told me to get a Cullen. And I went and got a G63 wagon, tens of thousands of dollars gone. He said, you told him to do that, Bernard Jordan. According to the accountant, he said he got 1.4 million and he told me I'm going to give you $100,000. And Larry said, he said to Manasseh, oh no, you don't have to give me nothing. Since when has Larry ever turned down any money? Y'all remember when he thought Andrea Garrison was going to get paid? Y'all remember he went paying off people's debts and he claimed buying folks cars because he expected Andrea Garrison to give him a portion of whatever she was going to get. Y'all know what Andrea got? Moving right along. I'm trying to be nice. What time is it? Because I might go into the private live and cut up after this, because then I can really cut up. Y'all, don't play me. Moving right along. I had to take another loan to get his reformation done. Y'all remember around the time? Y'all know I'm good at this. Y'all remember the time I told y'all that Larry was getting them loans and applying for them loans and it was close to his reformation? He said in order for him to even do his reformation, he had to apply for loans. I'm asking y'all a question. Why would a multimillionaire have to do that? Bernard Jordan, why would this man who claims that he's made $30 million from following you, why would he have to keep doing this? Y'all got to ask some questions now. Come on. Now, it can't just be me. I know I can't be the only one. I'm just saying. Here we go. Moving right on. He said he had to take out a loan to get the reformation done. Now, let's go to the other section. We're going to talk about professional contract cancel, work cancel because of family conflict. Larry was having a bot built. Larry said that he was working on an app, and a few months ago, one of his contractors hijacked his app and was not paying, was not going to give him access to his files because his ministry is all digital. And I think if my memory serves me correctly, he said that the person was demanding $20,000. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I kind of went ahead of myself, but I wanted to show you this picture. When he was sending the message to Bernard Jordan, talking about I love you and all of this stuff, this is the picture of Larry Reid. He video chat Bernard Jordan. Now, I'm gonna tell you, the people that I was watching this video with, the first thing that they asked me, they said, well, Marcellus, is he wearing makeup? I said, now it's either makeup or it's a really good filter. Okay. I'm not against a really good filter either, Larry, because after looking at you close up, I definitely think you need a really good filter. You got to have a really good filter. Got to have a good filter. But he sends Bernard Jordan, his mentor, this picture. I love you, bye. That's what he said. I love you, bye. That's what Larry said to Bernard Jordan. Like this in his wife beater shirt. Now, I understand I'm older. I've crossed a certain age, but when I was growing up, Pastors and ministers conducted themselves a certain way. We dressed a certain way. When we went out in public, we dressed a certain way. If we were addressing the people who were mentoring us, we didn't show up in a wife beater. We couldn't come online in a wife beater and address our pastor and our leader. That's not something that we did. We didn't do that. I was telling somebody last night a story. When I was growing up, I had to be a teenager at the time. I had already started working for the church and everything. I showed up to choir rehearsal one night. You know, back in those days, you know, we used to have the holes in our jeans. You know, it might show a little bit of your leg, a little bit of your skin. And I told him last night, I said, I showed up to choir rehearsal one time with a pair of pants on with a little hole in the leg. Do y'all know they sent me home? They sent me home. Now, I know I can hear what y'all saying. Now, Marcellus, that's just the old way. I get it. But you know what the problem is? The new way keeps getting us people like Larry Reid. The new way is getting us folks like Larry Reid. The new way is getting us people like, I'm sorry to say this, but it's just how I feel, Matthew Stevenson. The new way is getting people like that Adrian fella that stole $500,000 from him. The new way is getting us this. These are our new pastors. This is how our new pastors are conducting themselves. This is what the new preachers are looking like. And then you wonder why the women in the church have such an unhealthy attachment and affinity towards their preachers and their pastors and their leaders. And you wonder why all of these people are falling into sexual sin and sexual temptation. And you wonder why. Matthew Stevenson dressed all up in a whole silk robe going to take pictures, and he owed Bernard Jordan for 2 years worth of rent. Come on, somebody. I'm talking common sense here. But this is what we get, and this is what we have now. And then you get mad at the vlogger for talking about it. But y'all don't get mad at them for doing it. Okay, that's why you can kiss my grits. I'm just going to say it like that. Kiss my entire grits. Okay, moving right along. Moving on. I'm just saying. So Larry and the youngest son of Bernard Jordan, they were supposed to be working on this bot project. Also, one of Bernard's daughters and another contractor, I'm not going to name that name either. He had a whole bunch of work that was being done. So Larry contracted the family to do some tech work for him, the botany apps. And after Larry's critical comments that he made in his public coverage of Bernard Jordan, the daughter halted or refunded the work, and they cited a family boundary and a conflict of interest for doing those things for Larry. Now, Larry's other contractors, he's claiming, put a financial strain on his ministry. But see, here's the problem that I have with that, Larry. You hired those contractors to do things for your ministry. So if it was putting a financial strain on your ministry, that means you don't know your money and you don't know your numbers, which means you are not a good steward over the money that is flowing through your ministry. And that is why you are always behind, broke, taking out loans, crying, whining, and has a great expectation for your friends to loan you money. You don't have to like it, but I know I'm telling the truth. That's why you're in the condition you're always in. I'm just saying, the family cut your butt off. They cut you off. And lo and behold, ladies and gentlemen, would you all say in the chat that they made a good decision? I think they made a good decision, don't you? I think that if it was my family, I would say, yeah, we made a real good choice there. Made a real good choice. When Larry started talking about the money, ladies and gentlemen, it was an Oscar-winning performance, I must tell you. He face planted his face in his hands. And he started breathing. I mean, it was Oscar worthy. I mean, he breathing. Now, I want you to watch what I'm going to do right here. Watch what I'm going to do right here. Watch what I'm going to do right here. And then he started talking again. Not one tear in this man's eye. Not one tear in his eye. And he kept right on talking. and talking shite. So this ninja, I said, boy, this is an Oscar-worthy performance right here. I think Asha Global's right. It's trauma bonding. It's trauma bonding. It was ridiculous. The whole thing was ridiculous. But I'm going to keep going. The bot project from the son with refund was $1,600. The daughter communicated termination dates upon approximate to the March timeframe. After his comments, Larry described hiring those contractors since 2022 and saying that he had, for I think a year or two, he had never taken a salary. That's according to Larry, or he never got paid. Larry, well, you had some other perks. You had some other perks. Let me go on. He says the business, email, text communications, and the tech backends. Larry notes that the work resembled Bernard's backend systems. Let me tell you what had happened. He was trying to get an app that was built like Bernard's app. So he was trying to copy Bernard. Y'all know I told you the whole reason why I went over there so he could copy the system. That's the whole reason why I went over there. So he was trying to get an app built like Bernard, but I guess because of the technology that Bernard was using, Bernard felt like he was poaching on the technology, so they didn't want to give Larry the technology. And Larry felt some type of way about them not wanting to give him the technology and build that boat. Okay? That's what he said. Moving right on. All right. So Larry described hiring the contractors. Let's move on. The family boundaries Larry perceived as disrespect towards Bernard's political stance and a fear of reputational exposure caused them to step back from Larry. He's going back to the political thing again. So he's hitting Bernard. He's hitting Bernard on all sides. I mean, all sides. Sexuality, the political situation. He's hitting his family, his son. He's hitting the bot, the business relationship. I mean, he's knocking Bernard left to right, left to right. Now, you just imagine, this is supposed to be your mentee to all of the pastors and the leaders out there. Pay attention to what I'm saying here. Imagine if this was your mentee who was online talking about you and your family and your kids and your political stance. Now, can I share with you, all of us who knew Carlton Pearson was a Republican. He voted Republican for as long as I knew. At one particular time, he ran for mayor. He didn't run as no Democrat. I'm just saying, we knew what he was. That didn't mean that we were going to not support him. That didn't mean we were not going to love him. That means we weren't going to treat him kindly and fairly. My situation, this is stupid. This is dumb. Regardless, and he gonna say, well, I know who you voted for, Bernard. He get into that crap again. Oh, but this whole thing got worse. I'm trying to tell you, I'm moving along, y'all, but it got worse. Larry sees it as punitive and said, and it was tied to the family being loyalty to themselves rather than the objective in business, and according to Larry's rationale. And I gave you the dates of that. Larry, and I quote, said, she built them all. Then she said, we can't give you these apps because on the back end, they're very similar to the ones that were built for Bernard. And I quote, one of the contractors tried to extort me for over $27,000. They were not going to give me my sensitive information concerning my ministry. And he's telling the people in the Patreon all of this, and he going, and I'm holding all of this stuff down, and I'm not telling anyone. I'm just keeping it to myself. Larry, that's what men do. That's what men do, Larry. That's the difference between being fathered by your earthly father, and if you come into a relationship with a mentor, another man. That's what it means to be a man, Larry. Sometimes we have to suck things up as men and just handle things as men. We don't get to be so overly emotional about handling business. This is business, ninja. I'm sorry, y'all. I just have to go here because Larry quick to be talking about somebody, and he quick to be calling everybody else weak and dumb and stupid and all of this other stuff that he called us that some of y'all don't know because he goes to other vloggers' platform to disrespect us. He don't never do it on his platform. He do it on them other vloggers that y'all ain't never heard of and don't know nothing about. I'm just saying, Lord help me. With his disrespectful self. And then y'all, when we start clapping back at Larry, he appears to you guys and says, I've never done anything to those people. I don't know why they're doing what they're doing. I have no idea. That's why I'm laughing, because honestly, I'm not mad or anything. It's just, it's laughable to me because I see who he is. I know what he is. And this is hilarious. Let me put back on my glasses because I'm struggling to read this. All right, here we go. Now, I'm about to get into some stuff. Now, Larry starts talking about some sexual slander allegations. Now, I'm not going to get deep into this. Let me see if I can go find this part. Here, let me see if I can find it real quick. Because this story was so outrageous. I was like, this story was so outrageous. I couldn't believe it. Now, I want Bernard and his family to know I'm not telling this story for the salaciousness of it. I'm telling it so that the public can be well informed. This is a man who claimed he loved Bernard Jordan. This man say he loved him. But he went right on behind in his Patreon and made all of these stupid allegations toward this man. I mean, this is some crazy stuff. This is why I say I can't be friends with none of these folks. None of them. None of them. None of them. None of these vloggers. These people are nuts. And they'll sell you out to dry. I'm so serious, they'll sell you out. This is what he said. Let me go up. Let me go up because I want to make sure. He said, everything I'm saying, I'm reading the transcript. Everything I'm saying, them people with the blue checks, the righteous right beside them, they retold them. They not that learned. That's what he said. They not that learned. The people that is walking with you, they need to know everything. I call them. I'm not going to say this, but I'm trying to hide the identity, but the judge know who it is. So he's saying that the people in the chat know who it was. He had to do a particular something and get my ship come out of the house. And he called me FaceTime. I tell you, Larry communicates very weird. So he called me FaceTime. I said, hey, what's up, man? What do you mean by that? Well, that is, yeah, he is. Yeah. I'm so pissed off with him right now. I'm going to cussing. I'm like, whoa. Wait, what happened? Because let me tell you this. Now, this is a conversation that he's claiming that he's having with some other dude. Shamako, you know who Shamako is to you? Now, in my mind won't go through the change. I'm trying to focus in this culture stuff that this guy I know, but why are you mentioning my best friend's name? This is what Larry says, right? And I said, who you say? Shamako. I said, yeah, that's my best friend. What you say? I'm Shamako to the bishop. That's what he's saying this man is saying to him. He know what he meant. I said, what you mean? Now, right then, the spirit said, be quiet and let him talk. That's what he said in this video. This man began to tell me, let me start with the betrayal. He said, Bernard said that all my sexual needs are fulfilled by Shamako. That's what Larry is saying that the man told him. I want y'all to breathe. That's what he tells to the chat. I want y'all to breathe. And that he want him to be what Shamako is to me, saying that this man, and this is a hodgepodge crazy story. So if you're a little confused right now, you're supposed to be, because trust me when I tell you that Patreon was like walking through a Jello maze. I mean, it was like walking through a Jello maze. But I'm gonna break it down to you what Larry was trying to insinuate and what he was trying to say. I'm a look at this chance to see y'all want to manifest. I said, Spirit said, hush, let me talk. Say hush, let me talk. He said, if I'm been doing that, you need to do better. You need to, I don't need two niggas like that. I don't need the internet. I like girls. Everybody know I like girls, as we said. But I didn't for him. He's talking about that's what the man is telling him. Bottom line, let me get to the point. Let me get to the point. Apparently, some man comes up to Larry and tells him that he is Shamako to Bishop Jordan. Because Shamako supposedly is supposed to be satisfying all of Larry's sexual needs, desires, allegedly, and all that kind of stuff, right? So that's what he says in this private live. And I don't even know why I'm saying alleged, because that's what the man said in his own private live. And I got the video, so it is what it is. So that's what he's saying. So this weird stuff is what he's saying. Now, he said the next conversation the next day, I let him finish. I still haven't told him, Bishop, I don't know, Liddy, Liddy, I don't know whether you're going to piss. So the next time I told him. Now, mind you guys, I knew this betrayal. And so what he's in essence trying to say is that Bernard Jordan betrayed him by telling this man in some kind of way, or this guy, that Shamako is satisfying all of Larry's sexual needs or desires. Now, he's saying that Bishop Bernard Jordan told somebody that in essence, in a way. That's what he's trying to say. It doesn't make any sense to me, but it's dumb. But this is supposed to be this great betrayal, y'all. This is what he ran over the Patreon to tell everybody. This is what he told everybody, that you need to give me $4.99 because I'm going to tell you some stuff and I'm going to lay it all out for the whole, I'm going to lay the whole family out. This is what these people paid this $4.99 for. Can I just say, let me have this liberty. Let me take one liberty, saints. Y'all forgive me for what I'm about to say. This is all bullshit. Can I just say bullshit? This is bullshit. It's bullshit. This is bullshit from a bullshitter and a man that's been full of shit since he came on the internet. I'm sorry, saints. Forgive me. This is just bullshit. So he ran all the way to Patreon to give these people this bullshit because he was so betrayed, and he's been holding all of this down and he ain't said nothing. And guess what? He still ain't said nothing. This is bullshit. And do you want to know that's why Bernard Jordan looked into this camera on this platform and called that man's name more than 3 times like Candyman? Larry. He called Larry's name like Candyman. He was expecting Larry to show up at any moment. Foolishness. It's a bunch of foolishness. Let me get back to my notes because I need to continue so I can wrap this up. I'm so sick of Larry, I don't know what to do. And Larry, you can just get mad all you want to. This is my opinion, and this is my platform. I can say what I want to say. And I am not going to go listen at nothing none of you, the rest of you are going to say, because I promise you, as soon as I get off of this live, I'm going to go watch a documentary. That's what my plan is, okay? I'm going to go put my feet up and watch my documentary. He talking about that was the betrayal. He felt that was the betrayal, y'all. And he was so hurt. But he's principled. Okay. He's never been fathered. He's never been mentored. I'm just trying to tell y'all, this is the problem with this dude. He said, where did this happen? FaceTime, phone conversations. And then the allegation traveled to former employees and family, affecting contracts and public perception. I don't know when that happened. I don't know when that happened. I don't know when that happened. Let's move on. He said, quote, Bernard said that all my sexual needs are fulfilled by Shamako and that he want him to be what Shamako is to me. And I said, that's a violation. Shamako is not my boyfriend. That's what he said he told the person. End quote. Another quote. I started hearing it from everybody else, old employees of Zoe Ministries. 2 days later, I got a text from the youngest son. That's what he said. That's what Larry said. End quote. End quote. Let us continue, ladies and gentlemen. And whatever I get incorrect, Larry, feel free to address and correct the record. because this ain't my hodgepodge of mess. I'm just trying to do the best of my ability, give these people a synopsis and of your hodgepodge of bull jive, because this is some bullshit. Okay, I'm just moving on. I'm just saying. And that's why Larry frustrates me sometimes, because even when I have to read anything Larry says or does, it just drives me insane. Oh God, it drives me crazy. It makes my skin itch. Okay. Larry says several incidents escalated publicly. Larry posted a video, he says, with permission, that went viral from Manasseh. That's when he got into the TD Jakes thing. And he said that post led to legal activity around Jakes. Larry says that Manasseh was paid by Jakes outside of Larry's knowledge. That's what he's saying. Larry says the family used his platform to shake down others. Bernard Jordan, pay attention. Where y'all at? Zoe Ministries? Where y'all at? Where y'all at? Where y'all at? Where y'all at? Larry said that you and your family and Zoe Ministries used his platform to shake down other ministries. That's what he said. Now, I want to ask y'all this. Well, see, you getting ahead of me. 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 When Larry took the NDA from E. Dewey Smith, and we found out later that that there was some money that was exchanged, was that a shakedown? Do y'all think that was a shakedown? Because sometimes I be feeling like, well, that might have been a shakedown. And y'all do know that some of these people have been paid to keep quiet, and they paid to go out and say nice things about other preachers when they get caught in scandals. And we've already learned that that is a practice that they have, right? We know that. That's not speculation. That's something that we know. But that's what he said. He said that they used his platform to shake down TD Jakes. But this is your mentee. It's your mentee. This is the man that said you were the most trusted name in prophecy. Mm-hmm. 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 Let me continue. I'm just saying. You cannot share the audios or the videos, but you most certainly can give commentary. Let me just say this. Moving right on. Moving right on. On Larry's platform, he said these escalations span multiple events: the viral video at Manasseh's conference, then the White House coverage, the voting controversy, and the subsequent media fights in 2025. On Larry's platform, the Larry Reid live show, and other social media conferences and phone calls and legal meetings. Let's go forward, ladies and gentlemen. There were disagreements about content, perceived disloyalty, and financial motives. Pushed disputes into public media wars between Larry. He felt that he was being misrepresented and attacked publicly while not receiving any support. Larry feels like everybody just went out there and started attacking him, and he had no support. So he became the victim. Larry is always, in my opinion, the victim. Why he is always the victim, I don't know. But that's just Larry Reid. Okay, y'all. Well, let's keep going. He said, and I quote, "I posted it before you know it. Now he needs a lawyer. According to him, he was paid off by Jakes," end quote. "When I did that, I got on the phone with him. Paperwork was done. An amount was agreed upon." Now, this is what he's saying about TD Jakes. Now, y'all remember over the last several weeks and months, he's been saying, oh, no. Now, he say he don't lie. I never said anybody was paid, but he went right on in his Patreon and said this stuff all over again. I love TD Jakes. I was a part of Aaron's army. Y'all know he said it. Now, don't leave me out here. Don't leave me out here, saints. Y'all know he said it. Now, y'all know he said it. Then I quote, then they were trying to use me. They used me to shake down Jakes, end quote. Another quote, I did the live, called the guy. Bernard came on St. James saying that I was on the floor when they met me. Larry said, ladies and gentlemen, that he was on the floor because he was birthing his ministry. That ain't what Vincent Hill said. That ain't what Vincent Hill said. Vincent Hill didn't say y'all was on the floor because you were birthing out of a ministry. That ain't what he said. I'm just saying that don't work because that ain't what Vincent said. Moving right along. Larry says his close circle, Mako, and some other people and patrons and members of his community. He went to them and they had to deal with all of his emotionalism and fallout. Larry describes his long buried hurt and trauma and childhood abandonment and molestation. So he's still drawing the people. And I told you, he put his hands in and he got super emotional, just emotional. And let me just tell you, as a man, that's one of the reasons why, ladies, listen up. This is one of the reasons a lot of men don't want to go to church. Because y'all need to stop with all this emotion. Sometimes you need to use your brain. I serve God not only with my emotion, but also with my brain. And see, when y'all get into all of this emotion, see, you throw your brain out and you stop thinking. And see, when you're not a thinking church, you are not a true church. Oh, I wish I had a church. Let me tell y'all something. When you're not a thinking church, you're not a true church. Because Jesus said the word says that we have to love God with the whole heart, soul, and our mind. I'm sorry. All of this emotionalism going on in the church, you're not a thinking church. Y'all not a thinking church. You're not a thinking church. You're not a thinking people. I can't take all of that emotionalism. And don't get mad at your husband because he don't want to be caught up in all of this foolishness. Don't want to be all up in all of this emotion. Everybody crying. Everybody's always crying. That's not our nature. We don't do all that. No need of you getting mad because I said it, but it's the truth. Moving right on. You go cry. You go do all of that swaying and carrying on. You go do all of that. God called men because we're strong. God called men because we think. And I'm not saying women aren't strong, but don't go there with me. I'm sick of all of this emotion. Y'all need to start using your brains. On his live show in private counseling and with friends, he made some decisions to change his ministry operations. Thank the Lord. Let's hope it works and sticks. He recognizes and he says that he had toxic loyalty towards Bernard Jordan. That's what he said. Oh, I got toxic loyalty. It's rooted in my trauma. Y'all have to forgive me because Larry's so... Larry's so full of it. I'm just got so much trauma. My thing is this. If you had all of this trauma, why are you counseling everybody? And why are you prophesying everybody from this traumatic place? Let me ask y'all a question for real. Like this is for real question. Do you want a prophet and a counselor who isn't healed? You want a counselor and a prophet that is still dealing with the trauma of their childhood and their past? Wouldn't you want somebody who's worked through some issues? I don't want nobody prophesying to me and you still crying about what your grandmama did to you when you was 5. I don't have time for that kind of situation. How you gonna get me out of the mire of the situation that I'm in and you still got trauma from when you was 8? I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm overthinking it. I'm just like, wait a minute now. You still mad because they hit you on the playground with the dodgeball and you wasn't able to get out the way and you got all of this trauma? But you counseling everybody and you prophesying to everybody and you talking to the dead and reading prophecies from the back of the milk carton. No, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm too much of a thinker. I just cannot. And that don't even sound spiritual to me. I'm sorry. Nothing about that sounds spiritual. Absolutely nothing. Larry says, and I quote, I'm carrying a lot of hurt. That's what he said. And I've got to get very intentional with having conversations around hurt. I've been silent for 6 years. Larry, there's a reason why you've been silent. And you ain't been silent for no 6 years. Stop lying. That's another lie you just told. You've been going on them other vloggers platforms and you just been talking. I don't know why you sitting up here telling that lie, Larry. Now you can tell these other people that, but the rest of us, we know better. What time is it? Oh my God, I'm about to hit 2 hours. Oh, this is my last video because I ain't making no more. Let me get through this. Let me get through this. Where am I? I did all of that. All right, that's it. That's it for it. Now let me tell y'all this. Now this is some crazy stuff. Then Larry looks into the camera. He gets close up to the camera. Larry don't lie. That's what he said. Larry don't lie. Larry don't tell no lie. They lie. Larry don't lie. Larry is truthful. Larry is transparent. My ministry is transparent. Larry don't do none of that. He looked into the camera, got real close, eyes doing all like this. They're all in the closet. I said, who in the closet? Larry's always projecting on the other people his life and his lifestyle. No, Larry, you was in the closet. Now, Manasseh, I'm not going to say out here in the public what he said about you. Oh, sir. Oh, sir. Only thing I'm going to tell you is this, Manasseh. He said you was real close and y'all was exchanging photographs. And he made some references to girls and boys. Manasseh, Larry is not your friend. Manasseh, he also alluded to that he thought it could be a possibility that you were making your father go up on all of these other platforms to embarrass your father so that you some kind of way could take the ministry and make your father look really bad. He actually said that. But this y'all mentee. This the person that y'all over here talking about, oh yeah, Larry, Dr. Reid, da da da. But the vloggers are the problem. This is the man, this is the man, this is the man that y'all bring into y'all inner circle. Then he started talking about Rosalind Weems. And let me tell y'all something. Anybody could have seen that Rosalind Weems was a fraud. No one can go in their backyard and pick lobster. I don't even know why grown-ups at y'all age didn't know you can't go in your backyard and pick lobster. Lobster Lily had all y'all confused. She had all y'all confused. I'm gonna drop the link so anybody who wants to come up and chit chat, you're more than happy to give me your thoughts. But I gave you guys the condensed version. I gave you the condensed version. But yeah. That's pretty much what it is. And for those of you that think that anything can be done, this is called commentary. I did not play his videos. And I'm telling you right now, if anybody get froggy and they want to leap, I'm going to release every piece of video that I have to the public. So you can play that game if you want to with me. Now, my plan is not put no videos out, but I'm going to tell you right now, if you come playing any games with me, I'm going to make sure every single vlogger on the internet gets everything they need. So don't go there with me. I'm not that dude. So y'all can come over here playing that game if you want to. My name is Marcellus. I'm mad church disease. I'm not new to it. I'm true to it. I'll light you up on this internet if I have to. Now you can play games with me if you want to. Now you can play if you want to. The link has been pinned, ladies and gentlemen. Don't play with me. I don't play games. I'm not a liar. And I don't like being tricked. And I don't like people coming on telling me that God told them this and God told them that. And then they come out here and be something totally different. God keeps changing his mind every week with Larry Reid. Larry Reid got a new message from the Lord every week. And he keeps talking about the Spirit told him this and the Spirit told him that. What spirit are you talking about? The spirit that let you talk to dead people? I'm confused. I'm perplexed. I'm baffled. I'm flabbergasted. For all of you that don't like my vocabulary, that keep saying, why does he always use those words? Because let me tell you something, reading is fundamental. If If you don't have an expansive vocabulary, I would simply tell you to start reading more. You know, these people actually be complaining, why does he use those words? Don't get jealous. Just go read a book. And I don't even think my vocabulary is all that expansive. I just read. I'm just saying. Now, Bernard Jordan, I told you I bought that book. Didn't I tell you? I'm the only one around here that done read this book. Sooner or later, sir, you and I will talk. I've just been busy this week and I ain't had a chance to get around to it. I'm working on some shows and some guests to come on here, so I've been really busy. The link has been dropped, ladies and gentlemen. You are more than welcome to come up. You're more than welcome to ask me any questions, state your piece. Yours truly, whatever storm is out on the ocean, I thank God it ain't moving my way. Lord, let them people have all the storms they can have. Now, can I say something to you all? A lot of these people that we say are in the closet, they're not, some of them aren't in the closet. It's just that we don't know it publicly because the people that are more in close proximity to them know who and what they are. Does that make sense? Y'all get what I just said? To us, they're in the closet because they don't say anything in the public and they, it's not public information, but to their friends and their family and the people around them, they know who they are. And we keep saying the people is in the closet. Some of them people ain't in no closet. I'm just saying. Now, Larry Reid is going to make a big deal out of this. Oh, that vlogger. Oh, y'all know I'm the lowest of the low. Bernard Jordan went even lower. That's my favorite part of the week. I swear that is. He went lower. You know why, Larry? Because people do value my opinions. And I hope that Bernard Jordan felt that I did him some justice. He may not necessarily agree and with my stance on things, but I hope he felt I gave him some justice. And I showed him, I thought, an immense amount of respect, even though I disagree with a lot of stuff that has been done. That's just my opinion. But I think I was very respectful. It is what it is. It is what it is. I can't believe y'all don't have no questions tonight. What's going on? What's going on here? Y'all gonna do me like that? Nobody want to talk to me tonight? What's wrong with y'all? Oh, listen, all of these Dubai trips and the Ghana trips. Let me tell you something, Larry, listen. I've been in ministry so long that I know that anybody who goes to Africa and slaps a sign on the side of a building, it is very easy for you to go out there and say you put a sign up and say you building a school and take pictures of it and use it. You know how many preachers in America done try that trick? Then he say he building a hospital. I told somebody yesterday, I said, well, what are you going to put in the hospital? A love seat and a couch? Because do you know how much money it costs to actually fill a hospital? If Larry doesn't have the cognitive ability to keep his ministry finances in order in America, how is he going to go abroad and fix all of these issues and fix all of these problems? Does that not sound like a legitimate question to you, ladies and gentlemen? How's he going to fix these things that are far away when he can't fix the simple things that are close and in his proximity? Huh? You taking out loans. Some of these loans that he mentioned, you all, I think one was called like a MCD or MCB. Or he taking out loan after loan. If you're a multimillionaire, why do you have to take out loans? And then he says, because we had an expectation of some funds coming in. And therefore, so what you did, Larry, you overextended yourself and you leveraged what you thought you would normally receive. He even said in this video, you all, that his Wednesday night offering at some particular point in time was like, what, $30,000 on a Wednesday? On a Wednesday. That's what he said, y'all. You overextended yourself, which means you have a lack of wisdom. You have a lack of wisdom, which means I would not put you in charge of my Hot Wheel collection. You can't have my Hot Wheel collection because you overextended yourself. You can't have my Tonka trucks. You can't do none of that. I ain't giving you nothing. I mean that. I'm going to put on my headphones for you, Erica, so I can hear you well. I'm going to put on my headphones for you. Just overextend yourself. Are you? Is that you, Erica?
Yes, you hear? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yes, I just wanted to make the comment how much Larry Reid has like been. This just shows like how he's been manipulating his audience, his followers, maybe even his church members. And it is sad that he chose, and he told us a half truth was a whole lie, and that's the only time he lies.
That is
Um,
what he said.
and in this particular case, his half truth um, was pretty bad to leave out the rest of the story, because as an audience member, all we know is, oh, he went to the White House and they fell out like that. Well, it was way more than that, and it makes this is one of those situations where the half truth, because you don't tell the whole story, is a whole lot. This is one of those cases where it's really bad. Like you really told a really bad half truth, and it was just a lie. And it's crazy how he manipulated his audience. Number one, then he tried to charge to find out the whole truth to those who wanted to know the whole truth instead of just the half lie. I mean, a lie. He charged for that, which okay, fine, Larry. But for him to these are not like big. I mean, these are big. This is a big deal what he actually said versus what he said to his free audience. What he left
Right.
out was actually a big deal. That was a big part of the story. And I don't think it was because he went to the White House. So what, he went to the White House. That's not
Right.
a big deal. I think he added that in to kind of give us something. He just
No,
wanted to
no,
give
no.
us something.
I'm gonna tell you what it was. Now here we go. Now watch this. Well, this is how my brain works. He knows that black people don't fool with no Donald Trump. So in his mind, he thought if I say, "Oh, he went to go and he's fooling around with Trump," then that's going to automatically make black people hate Bernard. So he said, "Yeah, I'm gonna use that because we know the temperature in the country is black people ain't fooling with no Republicans and fooling with no Donald Trump. So I'm gonna tell him that." That's what he did, in my opinion.
Right. And the fact that he knew all this, like all this transpired while he was still promoting Bishop Jordan. And this is something William McCray talked to hit on. And it was a very good point. You knew all this about this person, this so called person, but then you fed that person to your audience as the archbishop, the
Mhm.
respected bishop, the true bishop. But you're saying you knew all this stuff about this person while you were feeding your audience and telling them to, believe in him and follow him and listen to him and, promoting him. And you knew all this stuff in the background. If he's such a bad person now because it doesn't benefit Larry anymore. Larry didn't give a shit rat about his whole audience. He did not care about anybody, any of his followers, anybody, because if he knew all this back when he was
Right.
promoting Jordan, he should have, if he had integrity, he should have not had him on the platform, or spoke the truth back then, and they
Well,
could have.
well, he alluded to in this video too, talking about Bernard be begging for so much money. He said you got to go to his conferences with a stack of cash. There was a whole lot of stuff he said that I didn't get into. Then he said he raised 50 million in 1,011 offerings. Y'all know how Larry talked. And he just complained. He said, "Oh, and they keep calling you and raising money." And I'm saying to myself while I'm watching this, well, Larry, you do the exact same thing. Larry, you took the blueprint from Jordan and now you complaining about the blueprint and you still using the blueprint. I don't know. Maybe it's just me.
Yeah, but just a whole lot of hypocritical. And I remember when Larry was going back and forth with the other bloggers and how arrogant he was. Oh, they're not on my level. I don't have time to deal with that.
Mm-hmm.
How he down talked others. Oh yeah, like he was
Oh,
so big and they were so little, and he made it known like, okay, I don't have time to deal with them. They not on
you
my level type stuff. And now here we are. And he really doesn't realize he made himself look bad. I guess
right.
he thought he was spilling tea and hurting Bishop Bernard, but Bishop Bernard is okay after learning all this. Like,
Exactly.
okay,
He gonna be fine. Now, Erica,
I
you
still
just
have respect for the man. I
you
still
you
have, but you're not. He's not okay. To me, he's just like this is a fall from grace, a
yeah.
big time fall. Like he just done. This is a fall where he just hit his head like Humpty Dumpty and it cracked, and like he just messed up, man.
Well,
I
Humpty,
don't. I don't know what he was thinking about releasing that
yeah.
information.
Yeah, but Humpty can never get put back together. You got to take him to the king. But Erica, you said something that really got me. You said there was something you said. Oh my goodness, and it's really important. Oh my God, you were talking and I had it and now it's gone. Erica, you just said something about go back. Can you remember what you just
The
said?
bloggers. I said about the bloggers and how he was telling everybody, making it look like they were too. He was too
Oh
big.
yeah. I remember now. You said talking down. He said that a woman came to Bernard and told Bernard about him voting for Trump, and that's why she was leaving the church, and he couldn't remember the name. And he said Bernard made a comment, and it was like he was talking down to her. And Larry said he didn't like it because he don't like when people be talking down to the people. I started scratching my head. I said, now wait a minute, Larry. You talk down to the people. You sit on a blogger's platform who cuss out the people in the chat. You sit up talking about you got upset with Bernard because you felt like Bernard was talking down to the people. Larry, you talk down to the people. The people you hang around with cuss out the chat. So how in the world is Bernard, talking and having a conversation about who he voted for was so cataclysmic that caused you to just misalign yourself and determine to say that was the last straw. You could no longer take Bernard. Larry, you full of it. I know you're full of it. You know you're full of it. And we all know you're full of it. That's the point I'm making tonight. Larry, you're just full of it.
But I can't help but still try to give him. I'm not giving him any credit, but I don't believe I don't believe he told everything. Now, one thing that sticked out was when he sent the message. When he said he sent the message to Bishop Bernard, and he sent the message that it said "I love you," and he didn't respond. Bishop didn't respond. Okay, right there we see Bishop trying to create. He see what's happening, and he's trying to create space. So he didn't respond to it, and so I can't see if I look at that incident, that scenario, and then you look at this guy came up to him and told him that he was Bishop Samarco. Like, first of all, why would somebody do that? But let's think let's just assume he's telling the truth. Now
Mm-hmm.
that would look bad for Bishop Bernard as well, because if Bishop Bernard is saying, "Oh yeah, I want you to be my Shamarco," like Larry Reid, I want you to be my Shamarco. And if he knew Shamarco was doing sexual favors for Larry, then okay, that means Bishop not only told what he was doing, did he betray him in that sense because he told him that him and Shamarco were doing sexual favors with each other, or did he betray him in the sense that Bishop had a Shamarco, and the guy was actually Bishop Shamarco, and he was jealous, like
Well, Larry,
Lover's Quarrel
but
type jealous.
but Larry kept talking out of both sides of his mouth, Erica, because right at the time that he told that story, he goes into this whole dramatic thing. Well, all they gonna do, Shamako, is say, "I'm sleeping with you, I'm sleeping with Kendall, I'm sleeping with this one and that one." We heard it already, all the time. We done heard it already, and I'm sitting there like, okay, well, Larry, then why did you tell this dumb story? But you told the story so that you could plant the seeds in the minds of the people that Bernard Jordan has a shamako. And then he said, oh, y'all, he actually said this, that Bernard told him that he didn't want to be left in the room alone with Shamako because Shamako was handsome and something else he said. You all listen to me when I tell you. This man is off of his rocker. I think Tasha Global is right. Larry had an unhealthy attachment and affinity towards Bernard Jordan. I really believe that. And because of his unhealthy attachment to Bernard, he thought that it was proper and okay. And he thought that he was a part of their family. And when they closed ranks, it showed him that he wasn't as close to them as he thought, because once they closed them ranks, Larry was locked out. And he didn't, and now he was really in trouble, because who he gonna borrow money from? What kind of grift is he gonna use? He can't use Rosalind Weems. He can't use Bernard and have Bernard on the platform raising money for him anymore. What's Larry gonna do now? What's he gonna do, y'all? He's going to come up with something else. I got Millionaire Maker coming to the platform. Millionaire Maker, you're live on the Mad Church Disease program. Can you say something so we know it's you?
Yes, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Go ahead.
How are you, Marcellus?
I'm good. Thank you so very much for asking. I'm doing my very best. I think I did good work tonight. I just really believe I did.
I think you did as well. I think
Yeah.
you did as well. Thank you so much. First off, I, you know how you clean your phone out, you call yourself cleaning out your phone, and then you shift all the images to a whole nother folder there in Google file, and oh my goodness. So I don't have a proper name up here. I don't have an image up here, so I apologize.
No, it's
But
okay.
I hope my voice sounds familiar.
Keep talking.
All right, very good. I struggled whether to come up, but I'm here.
Okay.
And I want to tell you thank you for all you've said.
Mm-hmm.
And I got a couple things to say. First of
Okay.
all, I'm on your team.
Okay.
And I got a couple things that I've been holding.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I need to go ahead and what does Candy say? Speak on it.
Okay.
I am, yeah, you're going to know who I am. I am highly disgusted in any other synonym with Larry D. Reid. Larry Dingleberry Reid. Now, one of his astute followers who thinks he's astute, and I'm being a little sarcastic. It's hard not to. Who loves to brag about being an Aquarius? I'm an Aquarius.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm an Aquarius as well. Okay, and we're pretty smart. I've been watching everybody. Let me go ahead and make that confession.
Okay.
The reason why is
And
because
you have every right to do that. You have every
Thank
right
you.
to watch everybody.
Thank you. I've been watching everybody. The reason why is because I'm a philanthropist at heart, and I like blessing people. So I got great news for you tonight. I am tired of a particular blogger always dragging you, talking about how you have roommates.
Yeah, I do.
I'm letting you know tonight, I'm tired of it.
Yeah.
And I chuckled about it. I said, he just don't have no idea what's getting ready to happen for Marcellus. He just don't have no idea. But I'm going to say it publicly tonight, brother, you about to be a millionaire. How about that?
That sounds great to me. I'll take that. I receive every bit of it.
And not many days hence. Okay. And guess what? We're not there about who doesn't believe. Okay. Because what did Thomas, he said, I show me, I need to see the wound on Jesus' side. And when he saw it, he said, my Lord and my God. Okay.
Right.
So the evidence is going to come forth. I have made a list of people who I want to bless. Now, Dr. Mike Murdoch, we know who he is.
Right.
He said that money doesn't fall out the sky. God has to use somebody to bless you. And the scripture to back that up, of course, is I think it's Mark 6, not Mark, Mark, give and it shall be given, shaken down, running over, shall men give into your bosom. It ain't falling out the sky. So God has to use somebody. So I wanted to call for whatever it's worth, get on for whatever it's worth, and tell you I have added you to my list months ago. And I'm going to publicly share who else I have, some other people I have on my list. The first person I've added to my list was actually Larry, but I took him off. I used to support him. After he blocked me. What's my vendetta? I have a vendetta. My vendetta is I heard him dragging a blogger on his Instagram one day. Me and my philanthropic, always want to support people self went over there. And I said, surely you're not talking about this blogger here because he supports you. Next thing I know, Larry got upset with me and blocked me. So then in my astute of not having any knowledge of who didn't like who, I know who doesn't like who now. But back months ago when I didn't know that one blogger, are we able to say names on your show or what?
No, please. No.
The one blogger that gets on You know what? Lord, hold my tongue. The one blogger that gets on and supports Larry all the time, and I do want to be sarcastic, but I'm gonna hold my tongue.
Mm-hmm.
It supports him all the time, like Larry is flawless. You know, it's a delusion going on
Right,
there.
right,
Right, right,
right.
right, 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 right. I had the audacity to email and add another blogger together, and I said, "Why are they doing it?" Not knowing that they didn't like this other blogger that I like. Well, I soon found out because this blogger he blocked me in his chat, right? So
Right.
I reached out to him twice, and I said, if you don't respond again, I'm never emailing you again. So far, I've kept that promise. Now, here's the thing. I added Larry on the list. I took him off, and I added some other folk. The next person who really was nice to me was Official Kingpin. I like how he made me feel when I come over there to his
Right.
show because I'm hospitable.
Now I'm going to tell you this, but just so you may not be familiar with me. I'm going a little long, so if you could just move about a
Yeah.
minute here,
Okay.
because
Well,
I got to go.
okay. Well, I go on how people treat me. I think we all do.
Yeah.
And I've been sitting back now. Your buddy Daryl, I need to have some words with him because he did not like some of my comments when I went over his show. So I had added him to my list. So I know you're close to him and y'all care about each other. So I have you on the list. I'm sick of people talking about Daryl because I don't think it's fair. Okay.
Right.
He's been through a lot with Larry. Do you know who I am now? He's been through a lot with Larry, so I don't think it's fair.
Right. And
I've added you.
I
I've
got
added. I've added you, him, Tasha Global,
right.
Official King Payne, and I am telling you tonight, I have something in my hand that is so amazing. You don't have to go beg people. I know where you can get the people. You don't even have to approach people that you know.
All
And
right.
I'm going to let the Holy Ghost show out for you because I am sick of people acting like Larry is so perfect. And then the thing that I want to say,
Well, no, hang on, because I got somebody else has come up. So give me a moment, okay?
certainly,
All right, Prophet Marlene,
Hello.
welcome to the Mad Church Disease podcast. I apologize, y'all. We've gone way past my time. Y'all know I don't do this. This is way past. I'm an older gentleman. I don't go this long.
Me too, honey. Me too.
Okay.
And I love you. And I
Oh.
love you. And me too. But I had to come on. You doing a wonderful job. And it's nothing wrong with you and your vocabulary. You had me rolling the other day. I had put it in the chat. I was having a bad day. I was depressed and going through, but I just had to put some emojis. I love what you are doing for the Lord. And anytime you want to have me on, I would love to. Um, and I know Bernard Jordan and his wife
Mm-hmm.
and his whole family, because I came out of Brooklyn, New York with Dr. Prophet Mosley.
Okay.
So and I'm old school like you. So it's nothing, and you have me rolling. I'm getting ready to I want to make some t-shirts and send them to you. And you call a ninja, so I'm gonna have to find a ninja picture for you. And I mean, you doing good, and I would like you to adopt me as your as be my big brother and show me how to, do my little, because I feel like I've been pushed back, how to do my you I am on YouTube, so my name is Prophet Merlene, so you can go to my YouTube channel and see what I got on
All right.
there.
Well, for Prophet Merlene, I'm going to give you credit for something that I forgot to do tonight that I need to do. So I'm going to do something because I actually have forgotten to do this, and I know some kind of way we lost our other person, but I'm going to let me see. Hang on, Prophet Marlene, because you got me thinking about something. Give me 1 second. I don't know why I forgot to tell you guys about this, but give me a minute, you all, because this is important, and I totally forgot. Let me see, which one is it? It should be, is it under here? Yes, there it is. All right, you guys. Most of you, and I'll do this in a second. I'll share my screen in a second. Oh, that's the wrong link. I tell you, that's why I don't stay on too long, because I get crazy. I don't know what I'm doing. Wait
Don't
a minute.
say that. You good.
I get all over the place. All right. So here's the thing. I appreciate you guys coming up. This is one of these nights where I wanted to just lay it all on the line. And I listen, if you guys will be prayerful with me and be praying for me, I'm hoping and praying to not make another video concerning this man for as long as I possibly can. Now, if he comes out here and starts lying on me, y'all know I'm going to defend myself. But I literally want this to be the last video, and y'all are hearing me say this live. I do not want to make another video concerning Larry Reid. Now, it took me 2 months to make the videos that I made that's been on this channel for this week. I hadn't talked about Larry in over 2 months.
Wow.
We as a community, everybody, vloggers, we need to stop letting this man rule our stuff. That's what he wants. He wants us to do that, and I'm done. Larry, I done said everything I need to say. As far as I'm concerned, Larry, you are done. Unless you want to come over here and speak for yourself. I gave everybody else an opportunity, but you're a coward, and I know you ain't gonna never do that. I know who you are. So I'm gonna leave it there. And that's all I have to say. Now, Marlene, what's your final thought? Because I got to get out of here.
Okay, and I've been watching, and thank you for allowing me to come up. I've been watching you from the start, and I love what you're saying. It's nothing wrong with you said if you can't read, don't, and it's nothing wrong with what you're doing. Sometimes people don't like the truth to be exposed. If I was a woman, if he would have picked me, to be part of, if he would have mentored me, he would have had a better chance, meaning that sometimes men get more access to another man more so than women. They think we want to sleep with them and be their side piece and all this stuff. I would have been faithful because I knew them. Even when he came down to Bishop George Bloomer, and I'm not trying to start nothing up with that name because I've been watching your show. But when I came down, because I love people, I even celebrated his wife's birthday, Deborah, by getting the cake. And now when you go to Bethel Family Center, now they do. It seems like when I start something, people pick it up, but they never say, well, thank you, Prophet Merlene. And my ministry name is Fresh All in the Word Life Ministry. If you want to check me, I'm gonna call you Minister Marcellus. And you are funny. You should be a comedian.
Well,
and you should
well,
be.
let me
And I'm gonna wind up making an invitation to get a hold to Cat Williams so you could open up.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you right now, they're gonna boo me right on off the stage. I'm church. Listen, I'm church funny. I ain't comedian funny.
I'm saying I used to be. My name was Mother Sassy because my mother had passed away, and so I wind up opening up for the late Bernie Mac. In Raleigh, North Carolina area, okay. I opened up for
let me
a different one.
I got you. I appreciate you coming up.
I'm saying, I know last night when I was listening to you and I heard the Lord, I said, this man got money in his mouth. He's gifted and you are funny. And you should try when you're not doing anything. I know you're busy, but you should at least try like the local comedian, things, because you made me laugh. I mean, you had me with tears running down my face. And I believe you really haven't tapped into the gifts that you have.
I'll take that. Well, Marlene, I got you, Marlene. Let me get out of here, Marlene. I'm already past my time.
I love you. Anytime you want me to come up, anytime you want me to come up, please do. And you could check me out. But you're not doing anything wrong.
Thank you, and I appreciate that. Oh, we have got a busy night going on here tonight. Y'all listen, I've got to share something with y'all before I get out of here, and I had totally forgot that I was supposed to do it. Y'all forgive me tonight because I am super, super busy. Hold on, I forgot to tell you guys, on next Friday, the next Friday coming up, you all, I have a, oh my goodness, is that not the right thing? Y'all not on the screen right. Hold on. Is it this one? I'm sharing the tab. Which one am I supposed to be sharing? I tell you, this StreamYard thing be getting to me. Remove. Let's go. Here we go. Oh, they got it over here. Lord, this is not where that's supposed to be. I'm going to be teaching a class, you guys, on YouTube. I normally teach this class twice a year. Lord, y'all done exhausted me. I'm so tired. I don't even know where to go. if you're interested in growing a YouTube channel, starting a YouTube channel, whether your church, ministry, whatever, it doesn't matter. I've been doing this. I've been doing social media work. This is how I do make my living. If you are interested in learning how to start a channel from scratch, how to work the algorithm, so many other things, I've got a class coming up next Friday. This is a horrible commercial, and I apologize because I'm just super tired. I ain't gonna, I'm so tired. I got a class coming up, you guys. It's called the YouTube Growth Class for 2025. You can actually go over there and get a ticket. The tickets are on sale now. I do believe we're running out of the basic tickets. Just so that you guys can see, these are your two ticket prices. You have 127 and 197. The difference between the prices, you guys, the 197 ticket will get you access to me for an entire year. So you will have weekly classes with me to help you grow your channel. 127 will actually get you access to the class as well as the replay of the lessons. So you guys will be able to get that information, and you guys will have access to all of that. Okay. So I'm going to tell you guys, if you are interested, go ahead and get your ticket right away. As you can see, they only have a couple of tickets of the 127 price left. So normally these tickets go really, really, really fast, because I've been doing this for so long and people know I give them a lot of good information. I don't have a single person besides one, and I ain't going to talk about him too bad right now. I do not have a single person that I have educated or given this information to who has less than 10,000 subscribers. Okay. So that's all I'm going to say for now. And you can make sure that you put in your information for the class. I'm getting out of here, y'all. I'm tired. I've been here for 2 hours and 35 minutes. Y'all know I don't do this. So if anybody's waiting in the wing, charge it to my head, not my heart. I got to go. Shout out to all of you that are supporting the channel. I appreciate you. Etta, I hope I spelled your name right, or Ida. I hope I spelled your name right. Thank you so very much for your support. I appreciate every single one of you. Thank y'all for supporting me. Well, somebody said I'm supposed to be becoming a millionaire. It's on the way. I received that. I received that. And I promise you, I'm going to do right by the money. I promise you, I won't be buying private jets. I won't be renting out jets and stuff so I can go across the country, all while getting loans. That don't even make any sense. Does that make any sense to y'all? Think about that. Y'all ought to ponder what I've said tonight. It makes absolutely no sense. It makes no sense whatsoever. And so that is super, super crazy. But I appreciate every single one of you. Shout out to all of you that supported the channel tonight. Shout out to all of the content creators out there. I don't have no beef with nobody. Y'all didn't see me the other day. I went up on Jives's platform. If y'all might have missed it, I actually was trying to encourage him. I don't think it did me justice. But I don't have any alt towards anybody, you guys. I'm hoping that, everybody can just go to their neutral corners and have peace. This is the video. I'm trying to tell y'all, I do not want to talk about Larry no more. So don't get mad at me if I don't come out publicly and have a conversation about Larry. If you want to talk about Larry, it's going to be private. I am not putting this man no more onto this platform like we did before. This is a wrap. And I do mean what I say. And y'all know when I tell y'all something, I be meaning what I say. The only way I'm going to come out here and talk about Larry is he has to open his mouth and say something really off kilter for me to come over here and address him. I'm done. When I tell you I'm done, I'm done. And so we're on to other things. I want to talk some more about Joel Tudman. There's some other stuff that I need to add to this. We got a lot of stuff to do. So y'all, let's focus on some other stuff. All right. I appreciate every single one of y'all. Thank y'all so very much for supporting the Mad Church Disease podcast. Please hit the like button. Y'all, please make sure you subscribe to my channel. I'm a couple of like 100 or so people away from 20,000 subscribers. Cause I'm just so very low. That was my favorite thing that Larry did the other day. He said, and he went even lower. That was my favorite thing. I swear. Larry say, I'm the lowest of the low. Larry looked so dejected. I said, somebody need to go check on Larry. He just was like, the look on his face was just so priceless. I mean, if somebody should have took a picture of something, I mean, it was just hilarious. I love and appreciate y'all. Shout out to all of our forgotten brothers and sisters throughout the ages that stepped out of the safe bounds of institutional Christianity to tell the truth. Jesus plus nothing equals everything. I love every single one of you guys. God. Thanks everyone for watching. Your support means the world to us. Please make sure that you hit the like button, and please make sure that you subscribe to the channel, and make sure you hit the bell icon, and make sure you press all notifications so that way you will never miss any of the exclusive content that comes on my channel. Make sure that you never miss a video. Now, I try to go live every day about 2:30 Pacific Standard Time, which is about 5:30 Eastern Standard Time, and then I come back at night at around 8:30 Pacific Standard Time, which is about 10:30 Eastern Standard, with some more exclusive content. So if you want more Mad Church Disease show content, we'd love for you to become a member, a revolutionary member of our channel. Please make sure that you hit the join button that's right next to the subscribe button or somewhere around here so that you guys can receive access to special community posts. You guys get all of the access to my community only lives, because we've got some sipping chats that we're going to be doing, and you guys will get exclusive content. So just make sure that you head on over to the channel page, click on the join button, and make sure that you do that. Thanks again for watching. I appreciate your love and support, and I'll see you on my very next video.
We are Mad Church Disease, helping you understand that Jesus plus nothing is everything. This is a show for everyone, believers and non-believers, from churched to the unchurched. Help us grow the channel by supporting our non-profit causes and create more consistent content. Donate by Cash App or PayPal, or buy us a coffee at buymeacoffee.com.